Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Rolling with Difficulty. You are joined by me, Wally, your game master, as we play a brand new game. I am joined by my wonderful cast members, Austin, Noir, Red, and Sophia. Everybody say hi.
Hi. This is so
Hello.
Are we ready to play? This is going to be a fairly short game, filled with a lot of scary moments, hopefully. We will be playing Hunt. And before we get started, I'd like each and one of you to name your favorite bird.
Go birds. Eagles, baby. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles.
There are wrong answers, by the way.
There is no wrong answer.
There's
only one right answer.
Okay.
Should we go in any sort of order?
Favorite bird is so... Now, I mean...
What a question to ask, Austin.
I've got a few.
I need just one.
Rosette.
Okay, I will go with the
That's not my
belted
answer.
kingfisher.
Okay, folks, you
fuck
can
is
look that
that?
one up.
It's a kingfisher. You never heard of a kingfisher?
Well, you
I've heard
got
of
specific
fishers.
about it.
It's a kingfisher.
Austin,
I didn't,
I've heard of a
in case people
kingfisher.
came up
It's
with
okay.
In case people came up with me, I wanted to know was the belted kingfisher.
Okay.
Could have done with a Hoatzin.
I like ravens.
I was also going to choose ravens. I'll do crows
gods
then.
are fighting.
You,
Crows?
you
Okay.
edgy
The theater
bitches.
bitches that wear all black have the same taste in birds. What a shock.
Joke's on you. My guy is raven themed.
Okay.
That's fair.
With that, I think it's time to introduce who we all will be playing. Game of Hunt is played by 4 different knights, and of different orders. Can we go around and introduce each and one of our knights?
Should we just go down the list, starting with us?
Yeah.
Sure.
I suppose so. I'm so not used to like waiting to be called on. I'm always like, everyone else, shut up, I'm gonna go.
Teacher, do we have homework?
All right, so for this adventure, I will be playing the knight known as Bastion. He is a knight who has taken the Oath of Stone.
Very cool.
I will be playing a sky knight. I am known as the Rooker, or just Rooker.
Very cool.
I'm Sir Striga of the Oath of Wood.
And I will be playing Mira of the Oath of Echoes.
Fantastic.
This is great. We didn't coordinate at all, so none of
No.
our naming schemes are
All of
consistent.
us
No.
are learning this information in the moment.
I was like, we're knights. I gotta be a sir, right? Oh, I'm the
Yeah.
only sir. Awesome. Amazing.
It's perfectly fine.
The sir is silent.
The interesting thing about our 4 knights is they come from the land beyond trees, and they've traveled to this mysterious fortress in the woods. Indeed, the glory days are over. The empty halls of the fortress no longer house the knights of the hunt. They've moved beyond the wilds and been tasked with protecting the inner walls of civilization. The land beyond the trees is a place where the spoils of the hunt have created an age of prosperity. This will be the first order to have not participated in the hunt, but you've been tasked with retrieving the arms of the wild. There will be plenty of use for them in the coming age. The journey to the fortress was easy enough. Breaking the seal to the vault, awfully trivial. Before the 4 of you lie your treasures. Inside this dark, damp, cold room, the 4 of you stand. Broken chests emptied. No gold to be found, no food, just cobwebs. And yet, the arms of the forest lie here. We have a spear, a shield, a sling, a scroll, and a space where a 5th one should be.
Oh, no.
Ooh, spooky.
Austin, Knight of Stone, pick your weapon.
I will approach a shield untarnished by time, and this shall be my weapon.
Now, in order to wield this weapon, you must forget who you are and become a protector of the order. What memory do you release to heft the shield?
To heft the shield, I release the memory, all memory of the person I loved.
Ooh.
With great sadness, the shield adheres to your arm. Your mind grows lighter. A memory of a person you wish you could remember. Noir, pick your weapon.
I approach the spear, the shaft of which was made from the first tree that was felled in this forest. I shall wield it as my own.
Now, in order to wield this weapon, you must become anathema to the forest. What do you do to show the side you've chosen?
I think as the Sky Knight, I am inherently opposed to the restrictiveness that the forest brings, and my only refuge in it is striding through the treetops and the canopy. As I do so, I will use the spear to fell any attached twigs or branches to allow myself any clearer perches as I leap from bough to bough. I hold no love for the forest.
As you grip the spear in hand, a wave of cold washes over you, reminiscent of a fresh morning air, as you would glide from the rooftops of the buildings from the land beyond the trees. You brush the memory away, put the spear to your back, and we move on to the next night. Red, which weapon do you wield?
Sir Striga finds herself drawn to the scroll.
Now, in order to wield this weapon, you must take on a foul mutation as the void caresses you. Mm-hmm. What changes have wrought your mind and body?
So, Sir Striga is a knight who wears a helmet. Her face is generally not visible. But until she picks up the scroll, it did not have these wooden branching antlers coming out of possibly the helmet, possibly the face behind the helmet. It's not entirely clear, I think, what's changed about her or how much will continue to change the more she holds it. But mentally, this is a good thing. She thinks that the forest has always only ever showed her half of its face, the daylight side, the safeties, the parts that don't run from humans. And it feels like whatever this is, it's giving her access to the other side.
The other side, indeed, as you, within the recesses of your mind, start hearing what you believe are words, perhaps names, in a language you don't quite understand. They seem to run away from your cognition as you try to focus on any one particular sound, word. But with that, we'll move on to our Night of Echoes. What weapon do you wield?
Mira will approach the sling, already able to hear in her mind the sound of the ammunition flying through the air.
In order to wield this weapon, you must cast pieces of yourself and place them in your pouch. What do you, either physical or spiritual, sacrifice?
Mira takes a small knife from her bag and begins to cut chunks off her hair in this piecemeal fashion, taking what was formerly long and formal locks tied back in a complicated pattern into the worst bowl cut, shaggy and awkward, and never fit to be viewed by anyone of any society. And in taking these pieces of herself off, she cuts off her ability to return to the courtly life she might have once fled from the Oath of Echoes off to the shortest serving knights of their order, finding themselves drawn to the songs of all those who came before. She's not only cutting off her locks, but also her last chance to turn back, to leave this quest, and recommits herself to the task at hand.
As you hold the locks of hair in your hand, you clench them in a fist, tighter, almost painfully. And just when you think you might bleed, you open your hand, and in them, pieces of ammunition.
Hell yeah.
Now, over the course of this adventure, your knights will be put through a series of challenges. And we're given a couple of tools for each of you all to use. Each knight has a set of approaches that they can use to tackle some of these challenges. These are Valor, Haste, and Guile. I believe you all should have 5 uses of each. So these are like your 3 main options when choosing how to tackle. If you don't have any of these resources left, you're stuck sort of improvising, and those come with major and or minor complications. And lastly, each knight, I believe, also has health.
Is that what the harm score
8.
is?
Yes. So upon failure, one of the consequences that can come about through some of these challenges is that you might take 1 or 2 points of harm. I believe the Wood Knight might have ways to mitigate that, but that might just be just for combat. I'm not entirely sure. But yes.
Cool.
And with that, that's all there is. There's not much to the rules besides these challenges. So let's begin. Mm-hmm. With the unsealing of the vault, you guys hear the ground rumble before you. The keep shakes. The old stone releases dust and cobwebs. And you hear big thud from upstairs.
I think that Bastion is a man of few words, so he will say nothing. Just kind of. He also has his helmet just kind of covers everything, but like his kind of like mouth and jaw, like you can see, Batman style. You can just kind of see the lower half of his face. No, everything else is featureless. So his head just kind of slowly turns up towards it, and then he will just walk to go see what it was. He's not even going to say anything to the rest of the knights.
Hearing his footsteps, Mira will turn to follow him. And if you look at her, how she's dressed, she's covered in the normal armor of one who treads the forest, but also these little bells are hanging from all around her armor and strips of cloth. And it's eerie because as she moves, they should all be jingling, but there's barely the sound of footsteps as she walks behind him.
Whatever releases me from this dingy dungeon. And I will stride out. To walk is to be in pain for Rooker, as you see that his limbs are painfully thin, and he is a tall, lanky, and hunched figure. But he walks out.
Yes, Striga follows. I think she heard it with a slight sharpness she didn't before, and is kind of processing that.
As the 4 of you turn and walk out of the vault, the ceiling suddenly collapses in. Halfway up the stairs, you notice the halls in and around you also start to collapse as well. The whole building seems as if it's about to collapse in on our 4 knights. What would we like to do?
So I have an ability as the Sky Knight to detect I have a preternatural ability to detect oncoming danger. Should something threaten you or those immediately surrounding you, will have a moment to react. Would it be correct to assume then that I might be the one that acts first?
Yes, if you'd like to choose your first approach, by all means, go ahead.
I think Rooker is a save himself first kind of person, and so I think I would want to use haste to just exit the area of immediate danger.
Okay. Mark 1 use of your haste as you push past your fellow knights, swiftly dodging gracefully out of the hallway and onto the main first floor. As you step gingerly, you take 1 step and look around. The entire floor seems to have caved in leaving just the edges of this main hallway open. As you can see to the far end of the room, the main door that you guys have entered. As you look around, all of the windows seem to have gone dark.
Ooh.
Let's move on to our Stone Knight.
Well, first, Rooker says the thing about whatever gets me out of this dungeon, and then as we're leaving, there is the rumbling, and he reacts supernaturally quickly and gets himself safe. And I think that Bastion says he hears the comment, almost says something, and then sees the Sky Knight ditch, and the stones start to rumble, and he says, "You insult our foundations, brother, and now they seek to crush us." He is going to raise his shield, and he's just going to try and take it. So I'm using a couple things here.
Okay.
First, I have my power is if you stand perfectly still for a moment's time, your skin will harden and become invulnerable to the mundane dangers and creatures of the forest. Also, my shield lets me do this, which is protect. So long as I hold the shield, I may always do the following: protect any who lay hands on the shield from the dangers of the forest. They must pay the same price as me. So I will hold it up over. If anyone else chooses to make any kind of move, like they're free to go past, I'm not going to force them to join me, but I will hold steady for for either of the other two knights who feel like they need protection from this threat.
I'll touch the shield.
Okay. Those who touch the shield must... those who seek this bulwark must pay the price that I described when choosing this weapon.
Oh, so memory of somebody I loved?
The memory of the whole kit and caboodle.
Cool. Guess I maybe had one of those rattling around somewhere. I wouldn't know now.
As you take shelter below the shield, once again, the voices from the back of your mind speaking through you through the scroll, you hear very faintly the name Elias, old friend. Let us begin the hunt once again. And the two of you, unless there's anything the Echo Knight would like to do as well.
With all these rocks falling around us, Mira will start to swing the sling, and it has the ability that, as I'm always holding it, I can hurl myself or a fellow knight to any location that I can see, though I do have to pay a soul price to do so. But she will say, "It's much too loud in here," and swing and hurl herself up as close to where Rooker went previously as she can get, and fling herself out of the way of danger.
So you appear next to Rooker. The whole room goes silent, and we cut back to our two other knights beneath the shield.
They're certainly fast, aren't they?
Speed is not everything.
You find yourselves entombed, unharmed, beneath the rubble. What are your plans of escape?
I would like to use one of the abilities of my scroll. It allows me to bend reality in a small way, revealing the true forest behind the veil, which is a little non-specific. But I was hoping I could get some tree roots to kind of crunch the stone out of the way and we could get out.
That's pretty badass.
Thanks.
With that, the forest complies as you look through an esoteric wall of runes, pick out one of a tree? An elder tree. As the roots push the stones out of your way, and then from beneath your feet, lift you up, out, and into the center of the room in the crevice that has appeared. It is dark, it is pitch black, but you are all now safe.
Sweet. And another mutation takes hold of me, so that's fun.
What changes on your body?
I had gauntlets on before, but they didn't used to be clawed, so it's fine. It's probably nothing to worry about.
Do I see that elder tree?
You see the roots of a
check.
tree sort of underneath this rubble.
Do I, can I intuit that it is an elder tree, or?
For all you know, no, these look like regular tree roots, unless
Oh, does somebody have a quest about desecrating an elder tree, perhaps?
Maybe. But seeing as though I don't really have any desire to go back into the rubbled area, I won't proceed any further. I'll keep it where it is.
Are there any like small pieces of rubble that I could scoop up and put into my ammunition pouch laying about?
Yes, you take some time. Scour through the rubble. As you do, you notice the crests of each of your orders scattered about on broken pieces of armor. It has been quite some time since anybody has been here. You wonder why they've never come back. But amongst all of those thoughts, you find more pieces of ammunition for your sling. Once again, you all find yourselves in the dark, in the middle of this room, and it has all gone quiet.
How quiet? How quiet is it?
Could it be too quiet?
What profit all this? I'll just turn to Rooker because he was the first one out, and just like directing it vaguely at him. And when I say turn, I mean like the whole top part of the body vaguely turns in your direction, as I say it.
What did you say? I didn't.
I said, "What profit this?" He's basically saying like, "What happened? What did I miss while I was down there?"
You saw the same thing I did, brother.
If I may, I think our quest has begun. A moment's silence, please.
And as an Oath of Echoes knight, I have the ability to take a moment of quiet concentration and identify the sounds of any mundane forest feature or creature you seek. And I don't know if I could maybe extend that to like try and hear if there are any creatures or because we're like on a specific quest for the beast, which is I assume the forest feature of some kind. Can I like sit and listen and try and use my other senses to identify what's going on around us?
Yeah. Let's how about you can either mark guile or I could give you a complication.
Ooh, give me that complication. Give me that complication.
Okay.
I want to push the big red button.
You sit and listen for a moment. You hear the skittering of insects, quite mundane, nothing important.
Bugs.
You hear sound of the trees outside, but it's all muffled, as if there's a layer of something outside blocking the windows and the doors from you hearing any more details. And as you press your concentration just a little more, you hear footsteps in the back of your mind.
We are not alone.
Hey, I'm sorry, didn't you mention all the windows and doors were suddenly dark?
Yes.
I'd like to go over to a window and look out of it.
Sure. As
Thanks.
you walk sort of towards around the edges of the room, broken glass as you stare outside, and there seems to be boulders blocking each window you walk past.
There are footsteps. Insects.
It seems that your domain has come to crush us, brother. I turn to Bastion.
It is of no use to sit and wonder. Action is the only path forward, I will simply go and just open the door and step outside.
As you open the door,
I fear not.
There is a large boulder. It seems you've been entombed in more ways than one.
I fear not.
In the past hour.
I will think back to training as take up the Oath of Stone. You have to spend a year's time underground, so claustrophobia is no threat to me. And I think, in fact, it's somewhat comforting to be buried alive. This is home turf. So I am simply going to look out at it, and I think he's kind of a brute force guy, but I actually think here this might be more of a Guile situation where he would try to recall back to a time when he was underground and was buried, and how he got through that, because brute forcing your way out of being entombed is not necessarily a that could just lead to getting crushed more. And he doesn't really worry about that himself, but there are 3 other people here. So I think he's going to think back and try to remember something useful from his time training for his oath.
Luckily, nothing of memory is needed for this approach of Guile. Instead, you merely inspect the way the weight of the boulder has been placed on the front end of this dilapidated building. You trace your eyes to the main beam that goes across the center, and you realize that if you were to simply lift or move the boulder in any way, the roof would have collapsed in on all 4 of you. But you find a way to maneuver the weight in a way that you sort of rotate the boulder out of the way, enough to create a crevice for all 4 of you to exit the building. You can mark Guile.
I have.
Before stepping out of the building, did the footsteps that I heard sound like particularly heavy or light, or did they kind of sound in range for like a human?
You've heard a lot of sounds.
Heard a lot of sounds.
This is not a sound you can attribute to any creature that you've ever met.
Mira will note that in her little mind palace of trying to learn information and continue out through the castle crack.
Each 4 of you gingerly pass through this crevice. As the Echo Knight begins to move, each and every single one of her footsteps seems to echo with the sound of the footsteps that she heard earlier. At first, it seems to be, I guess, mysterious, but as you continue to walk around and test and try to guess where the footsteps are coming from, they become more of an annoyance on your demeanor.
What a din.
It's not my usual song. Distressing.
We find ourselves outside the keep. Sun has begun to go down. The line of trees between you and the rest of the forest is maybe 50 feet away. The rest of the fortress grounds are in poor upkeep. Dilapidated wagons. The one that you've come in lies there. The road back out of the forest leads in the opposite direction of the entrance that you've came in. What would you like to do?
So is the whole what's the one I'm looking for? The whole fortress is collapsed in on itself?
The outside seems to be perfectly fine. You know, the inside is all mushed up.
Understood.
I will say, you guys have been sent to merely retrieve the weapons.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That is the mission you've been sent on. You have 4. You know there are 5.
Therein lies the rub.
Our knowledge is incomplete.
Are there? I know in some of the text describing the monastery that describes there being statues and gargoyles and like guardians on the wall that surrounds the keep. Is that true in this situation?
You can each see champions of every single one of your orders, all in disrepair. Some of their faces disfigured, others merely crumbled away due to the passage of time.
I'll approach one of the Knights of the Oath of Stone, who is charged to build the wall and to protect the fortress and its contents at all costs. And knowing that one of the weapons has been taken, he doesn't make a big deal about it to everyone else. Just quietly walks up to one of them and says, "You had but one charge, brother. You failed." And I'll take the shield and just push the statue down. Just kind of, not even like smashing it, just kind of disrespectfully knock it down.
Statue tilts, timbers, tumbles, hits the ground with a thud. In the distance, a flock of birds flies out. The forest sounds now return to your ears. Silence.
How silent.
Too silent.
Can I ask how close the nearest tree is?
Sure, yeah. The line, this area has been cleared around the fortress. The line of trees is 50 feet from where you're at.
All right, I'll just walk towards the tree line. It doesn't seem like we're a particularly communicative party, because I have a thing that I can do, but I need to commune with trees to do it.
As you walk,
forest knight is
closer.
doing forest things.
As you walk closer to the tree line, you find yourself, you move maybe 25 feet, 30, and as you hit about 10 feet closer to the forest line, you find yourself not getting any closer.
Oh, that's distressing.
I actually don't think I was very far behind because I wanted to be up in the air as soon as possible, like up in the tree branches.
Right.
So I guess I find the same thing as I get closer.
Yeah, exact same thing. There seems to be some sort of strange magic stopping you from approaching the tree line.
That's legitimately distressing.
Ideas would be appreciated. I look to the other. Bastion is not a clever dude, so he's just gonna look to everyone else.
I cannot be kept from what is mine. I'm gonna do another bend reality in a small way.
Okay.
I want that tree line.
How would you like to bend reality? You'd like to close the gap somehow?
Well, it specifically says that I reveal the true forest behind the veil. This part was cleared, but it was once forest.
Correct.
Yeah. So whatever weird ghost tree situation this calls up would be nice.
You hold your hand out. Try to reach out and touch the memory of the trees that were here. As you do so, you're given sort of not necessarily a bird's eye view, like somehow in your memory, you feel the surrounding area around you, almost in its primordial state. And you spot, out of everyone's line of sight, perhaps on the south end of this clearing, there's a tree here. There used to be a tree here, an elder tree here. If you're looking to get through this barrier, that would be where you should look.
I will walk towards the elder tree that used to be here. Is it still here?
Only one way to find out.
All right, let's go look at the big tree.
Well, I suppose we should follow our forest guide.
Yeah, I'm following.
You guys walk the circumference of this clearing. Takes a little longer than you would think. This enchantment seems to be warping the distance between you and the tree line. And you find yourselves a stone statue. Seems to be about maybe 20 feet across, and tall. You don't know how you missed it on your way to the keep, but it's there now. And it extends high into the sky. You cannot see the top.
Does it look to be of any
This is one of the
particular
yellow
order,
keep.
like the statues we saw outside the keep were?
Nope, this does not seem to be man-made.
Ooh, spooky.
Does Striga know whether it is occupying the same space as the elder tree that they saw?
Yes, this would be where the elder tree would have been. This seems to be a memorial of sorts.
You say this prevents our escape?
Perhaps.
Good enough for me. And I will pierce to the very soul of a thing. Anything stabbed by the spear will evaporate, leaving ashes behind as an omen. The forest will not tolerate this.
Hey, what the fuck?
Forrest just goes, oh!
Mira will lean over to Bastion, who seems to be the
I just
most
become
level-headed of the group,
tough.
and be like,
It seems like everyone's kind of working through some things, huh?
It's
It
a
is the nature
Rooker,
of a
correct?
quest.
Rooker, yeah.
Rooker takes his spear in hand, thrusts it into the stone. Mind goes black as you hear the words, "The beast and its arms cradle the forest. Its calluses have not yet formed scars. To pass the trees, you must bleed." Take 1 harm
Yeah, okay.
as the entirety of your armor becomes pitch black. And when you open your eyes,
Kind of already. It's kind of already pitch
It's a
black.
darker shade of black.
as you open your
Anyway.
eyes, you find yourself at the line of trees, surrounded by rings, evenly spaced rings of ash.
Is everyone else able to proceed? Or
Yes.
is the statue... Okay.
Yeah, everyone sees, it seems as if the seal has been broken.
So the rest of us don't need to do any bleeding yet?
Nope,
Nice.
just Rooker took the 1 harm.
I turn to Bastion and I say, "It seems your kin must do better when facing against the likes of me."
I really thought he was going to go climb up to the top of that thing. It's very surprising that he's still at ground level.
I'm not sure
I
it
couldn't
has
see
a
the top, but I can climb these, and I'll go and immediately climb the
Oh, there
trees.
they go.
I would use caution.
I do not use caution.
He does not know the word.
As all of this takes some times, and at this point, it is the dead of night. If you guys would like to take a rest before continuing on into the woods, you have an opportunity to do so now. If not, we'll continue.
We just got back in my element. I don't want to take a rest.
Same here.
The dark does not scare me.
I walked blindfolded in these woods for a year. What's a little nighttime?
As you say that, you take a step through the tree line, and the footsteps become louder in the back of your
God
mind.
damn it.
Can anyone else hear them, or is it just you?
all the bells on her jingle for the first time of genuine annoyance. It seems that she's been working to suppress their sound as she moves and loses composure for a moment. If I take another step, is it louder, or does it is this going to be matching my
Louder.
footsteps? Oh,
It gets louder. Yes.
interesting.
Can the rest of us hear it, or is it just her?
Nope, it's just her.
Ooh.
Just an echo in the back of her mind, getting louder and louder.
Take a breath. Try and compose myself. and press on. Although you would note that the bells hanging off of her armor jingle just a little bit more than faint as they were before. She's a little off her game.
With that, we all step into the forest.
Yeah.
Now,
Into the woods, it's time to go.
who knows where we're going?
Oh, yes, I would like to
Not
finally,
Bastion's job.
now that I'm at the tree line, I would like to do the thing I can do for free whenever, which is, if you are ever unsure of what to do next, a short communion with the trees will guide you, though the answers are not always so clear. So I would like to ask the trees for directions.
Would you like a way out, a way towards the sword, or a way to find the beast?
A way towards the sword. I'm not sure I've heard about the beast. Did we hear what Rooker got, like, exposited about? Did any of us hear that, or is it just Rooker hearing the beast encircles the forest, etc., etc.?
Only Rooker heard that.
Okay, then I wouldn't know to ask about the beast. I'm gonna look for the sword.
I'll repeat it. The beast and its arms cradle the forest. Its calluses have not yet formed scars. To pass the trees, you must bleed.
Oh, we've been
Now.
prophesying.
Well, I don't know
this
about
whole
all that,
time.
so I'm just gonna ask about the sword.
Now, in terms of a way towards the sword, you see a mind map once again.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for a clearing where the trees have been cut down, remnants of an old lumber yard. Then you're looking for a lake that flies. And finally, at the center of the lake is the heart of the forest. A dilapidated old building, a shrine of sorts, with a rock, an old knight, and the sword pierced in his heart.
How did it get there?
Can you repeat the first part again before the lake that flies? What was the...
Clearing.
A clearing.
Old lumberyard.
Oh, clear, okay.
Clearing,
Old
lumberlard, lumber,
Lumberyard.
lumberyard,
Yeah.
skylight,
A
Handle of a
yumberlard.
brain.
old
Yeah.
rock man with sword.
I like that flies. I like that.
I like that as well. Well, to the clearing, I suppose.
You take a deep breath, you close your eyes, and your feet guide you towards the clearing.
Yay.
As we walk, after the first hour, our Knight of Echo starts to feel beleaguered by the echo of footsteps behind her. The noise has gotten so loud she cannot hear anything else. She feels that if she takes another step, she might start to feel physical pain from its effects.
I'll take another step.
Mark one harm.
You got 7 more steps in you, buddy.
Yeah, we're good.
A moment, please.
I'm guessing
Rooker
none of
doesn't-
you hear the echoing footsteps.
From you?
Yes?
How rare.
'Tis not our domain, sister.
Trying to see if I have any abilities that could help me with this. I always can.
I just
If
start
rest is required, then rest it will be had.
hurling myself just point to point.
You want to yeet yourself away from the ghost in your head?
It's not technically taking a step.
It's true.
Oh, man.
We should take our possession and push it somewhere else.
It's so stupid, but it kind of makes sense.
If the Knight of Echoes needs to be silent for a bit, simply speak so.
She can't hear you.
Can you use your ghost as
Oh.
ammunition?
Can I use my ghost as ammunition?
Yeah.
Mira will sort of like motion with her hands that she's gonna stop for a moment and try and, without speaking, indicate to everyone else that like I could use a break, I could use a rest, and kind of sit and try and get into that zone of quiet concentration, and see if she can't attune to the song of the forest she's so familiar with, as opposed to the din around her, and push this from her mind.
You sit for a moment. You meditate on the sound of footsteps until you force them back into your head. And they walk, and they get quieter, and quieter, and quieter, until they stop. And then you hear a voice. It goes, "Turn around.
I'll turn around.
Turn around." At first you see nothing. And then from the veil of trees steps out a creature.
La criatura.
Steps through the curtain of trees, moonlight curving around its curving reality around it. Its footsteps ring through the air. This time, all four of you can hear it. The sound of wind chimes and leaves echo through each of your heads. A mix of sadness and anger overwhelm you. You can't see its body. It's obscured what seems to be layers and layers of rusted armor, each coat of arms made indistinguishable by the heavy march of unoccupied time. Before you, Worker, you would know this, stands the beast.
What?
Your song is unfamiliar. What manner of beast do you be?
I am known by many names. The beast is what the knights call me. The spirits, I am merely their shepherd. And the forest calls me its protector. It seems that you have initiated the hunt once again. As he looks, or I guess he doesn't really have eyes. You feel its gaze upon you.
Even spookier.
4 knights have initiated the hunt. It's been a while, so I'll take it easy on you. The way this hunt works is that you cannot leave the forest until either I am slain or I slay each and every one of you. The night is still young, though. We no need to rush. Indeed, it is my understanding that you've come to take my arms out of the forest. It is only fair that I give you the opportunity to at least try. I am waiting for you all at the heart of the forest. You can test your mettle against me. And only then will you be permitted to leave.
You speak clearly.
Very well.
Thus are the rules of the hunt. I suggest you all rest through the night. I will see you soon. And with that, the mound of armors collapses into the ground in a thunderous roar, melt into the carpet of mosses and bushes and leaves. And we're left once again with a cacophony of night to soothe your ears.
Elias.
It would seem we are not alone in these woods.
We never are.
Do you speak the word Elias aloud?
Yes.
As you do so, Bastion, you feel your shield tug at you as it hears its name.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Which tug towards
scroll.
her, towards the scroll?
Specifically, yes.
Interesting. I don't know. He's not terribly sharp. I don't know that he even really recognizes it, other than kind of perceives it's happening, and then he'll turn himself back and say, "The rules are laid out. If we wish to acquire the sword, we must follow them through." And then he simply sits down on the ground, puts his arms on his knees, leans his head forward, and he's going to go to sleep sitting up perfectly still like that.
Fascinating.
Seeing him do this, Mira will kind of as quietly as possible crouch down next to him and take one of the little bells off of her outfit and just start jingle, jingle, jingle right in front of his face. And if he doesn't get a reaction, jingle, 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 jingle.
He's
My
out
guess is
cold.
He's
Stone
sleeping like a
cold.
rock.
No reaction at all. He is. Whether you can't see his face, so whether he's asleep or ignoring you, I think is basically impossible to tell.
He
And
might be.
perhaps a pointless difference.
He might be the quietest creature I've ever encountered. Fascinating.
It seems our brother of dust and pebbles is too dense to realize that the forest does not sleep the same way we do. I will take first shift.
When I sit still, I'm invulnerable, so
Yeah.
he's just gonna sit.
You invulnerable to words, Bastion?
Guess you could test that on him.
Can't insult a sleeping man.
Yeah.
For someone who can fly
Right.
above the trees, he sure has a real stick up his ass, huh?
The forest does not condone the use of its sticks in such a manner.
And with that, we will all rest through the night. Mark off. You can recover one use of an approach.
Cool. Good. That
And
one
with that-
guile was really weighing on Bastion.
No harm, though. We don't recover.
No harm. Just one approach. And with the wilds ahead of us, a lumber yard to seek out, a flying lake, and then our destination, the heart of the forest, we shall take a small break.
Good start, good start.
Rather
I like
early.
how all of us are super antagonistic, and it's very funny that 3 out of 4 of us chose the exact same voice.
Hell yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
gothic
wasn't-
horror. We all gotta sound
I
kind of
wasn't-
raspy.
I wasn't about to stick with a big crazy voice for this one.
Someone has to
I
be
just
Howdy,
did not
folks!
wanna
I'm Bastion the Stone Knight.
Woo!
Woo!
Rolling with difficulty. Rolling with difficulty.
And we're back to the game of Hunt. Last we left our knights, we have picked up our weapons. We have left the fortress. We have crossed the veil of trees into the wilds. A brief encounter with the beast. A night's rest. And we wake up to the sound of shouting as Rooker dozed off, and everyone is awakened by an angry mob of locals. Pitchforks
Are
in
we
your
in the
face, torches, someone with a bucket of some inconspicuous liquid, and knives drawn. An old man walks up to any of you and says, I knew it. They started the hunt all over again after all these years. 5 years, no hunt. And now they've showed up, come back. Well, get out of here. Scram.
If you know the hunt, you know that's impossible.
Don't try anything funny. You just need to die. That's all we have to do. We take you to the nearest spirit, they lop your head off, and everything goes back to normal.
Take
You're
us to the
welcome to
nearest
try.
spear. Don't have the guts to do it yourself, then.
And a rock comes flying from behind him, dinks one of you in the head. Obviously, it doesn't do anything.
One harm.
It says, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I don't know that you
And
do.
as the old man is talking, you can tell that he's stalling for something.
I have a loaded question.
Sure.
Does this old man constitute a mundane creature of the forest?
I was gonna ask the exact same thing.
These are indeed natives of the forest.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I'm not gonna murder this random old man with the scroll. He's just a dude.
Fuck it, I will.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the treetops, but I will descend from the treetops and I will go and stab the fucking peasant with my spear. Kill a mundane creature of the forest. When you do so, an ugly secret must be shared, a soul pierced and displayed for all to see.
Ooh, an ugly secret of the guy? Not yours?
I think I might be.
I'll say of the night.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you descend from the trees, spear in hand, skewer the old man. And as his blood hits the forest floor, it bounces back up into the air, slowly drips up to the spear point. You're compelled to tell a secret.
Secrets.
Heed this warning. This is not the first innocent I've killed. Heed this as well. The ones I've killed before have been intimates, taken to assume the oath you see now.
A young man from behind the trees blows a whistle. He says, "Get them." And out from behind the trees, 30 villagers crawl out, and they begin to harry all four of you. One of them reaches for your scroll. The other one attempts to pry the sling from your hands. The others viciously beat down on the murderer, while the rest seemingly attempt to damage the unmoving stone knight.
He's still napping.
So I will say he stood up and he challenged them back, but things got heated. He was prepared to scare them down, but now things are heated. And I think that Bastion is a little bit like, well, you brought this on yourself, you dumb ass. So I am actually going to... I'd like to try and fulfill one of my quests, which is to protect myself at the cost of others. I will, instead of moving to help Rooker, I will simply stay motionless and be invulnerable and immovable, and just let them wash past me. Like, if they want to beat on me, that's fine. They can, like, take out anger. He won't strike back or anything, but he's not going to come to the aid of his fellow knights. He will simply endure this and see what they do.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Like, he's just testing that. He's, like, testing them. Like, what are you guys gonna do?
Yes, Mira, Striga, anything you'd like to do?
Yeah, so part of my abilities
Ladies
as
first.
an Oath of Echo Knight, in the moment of quiet concentration thing, is I can recreate any sound after carefully listening to them. So having been taking all of this in, and particularly noting the sound of the whistle, I'd like to try and mimic the whistle that I heard before that got all the villagers' attention, to try and see if I can get the mob's attention drawn to it for just a moment to take it off of their individual assaults.
Okay. In order to do so, you have maybe 9 or 10 or so villagers on you currently, trying to pull your weapon from you as well as beat you down. You could either roll an approach, or you could take another complication.
And that first one
that
was so chill.
Does that apply to all of us?
I will use like a haste approach to kind of try and wiggle my way free, just using partially the hurling of myself with the sling and partially just like being quick on my feet. to outmaneuver the, I'm assuming, less skilled villagers.
All right, you can mark a haste, and that will happen. Striga, anything you'd like to do?
You said one of them was reaching for my scroll?
Correct.
All right, then I would like to use my ability to kill a mundane creature of the forest. When you do so, you corrupt the whole area in magics, bringing perilous blight to those around you.
All right.
I want this guy to explode into bees.
Oh no.
Not bees.
You grip the scroll a little tighter.
I think it's
And
like
for-
when he touches the scroll, trying to grab it. It's just like, bees.
Oh, okay, yes. As he touches the scroll, for a moment, there's a link between you, him, through the scroll, and you touch upon a primordial fear of his, and he explodes into a cloud of bees.
He
The
was
back of
always
your
afraid of this
mind.
fate.
You hear a laugh. No, maybe not even a laugh. Let's say a giggle. Something from within the scroll squeals with glee as this villager is no more. And as those bees fly out, they touch and sting every other villager within this mob, and they all buckle with pain on the ground. They curl up and they melt into a pool of black ichor.
I recommend we leave.
As the scene comes to a close, Rooker, you've taken a bit of damage. Mark 1 harm.
Yeah.
A quest has been completed. You can mark that off. 2 quests have been completed, I believe, right? 3. We have 3 quests
Oh?
completed, right?
Which ones?
Does this count as striking back against the forest through desecration or destruction?
I'll say yes, these are natives of the forest.
Yes!
So,
mark that off.
so me killing the peasant also counts as...
Yes,
Okay.
And I'll mark off protect yourself at the cost of others.
correct.
I'll do a
Yeah,
quest
his
someday.
inaction- his
I'll do a
inaction
quest. You don't
led-
even know.
Oh man.
And with that, we move. Sir Striga once again realigns herself with the forest, and you march.
If I could caution, it seems that our quest is meant to test our mettle, and it seems we're not all eager to maintain a level head. Perhaps in the future it would behoove us not to strike first.
I believe we're being tested in whatever way we see fit, which means we are answering it in whatever way we see fit. Lord of Dust and Pebbles over there answered his test in one way, and I answered in mine.
An answer of strength is not always the wisest course, even if it is the swiftest. You do well to remember it, I think.
Oh, I remember it all right. Heed it. Another matter entirely.
Then I fear we shall fail in the quest long before we find this sword.
That's your problem, Dust. You think that we're going to lose and fail. But I can see the dangers that stretch out ahead of us, and I'm not scared by any of them.
You say you're not scared. You say I feel failure. But only one of us has bled this day. And it was not stone.
And only one of us has shown blood in order to proceed on this quest. And only one of us has held back their arms in order to save their own skin, stone as it is.
Strength is not always in action. It is often an inaction. What is the purpose of strength if it is not used for justice? You act and kill innocents.
Innocence,
Prove your
hardly.
greatness. Innocence to us.
Passes popcorn
What
back
harm had they
to-
done? What harm had they done to us? That could not be brushed aside.
As
It is
this
because of my
argument
actions
continues,
that harm had not been done.
as this argument continues, you two sort of stop. You can see ahead of you the clearing with the abandoned lumber yard. Strange humanoid creatures seem to peek at the base of some of the trees up at these two as the argument continues to become more heated. They're small, translucent, even, devoid of all facial features, just one stitch going from one palm to the other palm across their chest.
Are they making any
And
action?
they seem to be paying mostly attention to the
Yeah.
fighting boys.
They seem to be waiting for something.
Do we notice them, or are we too busy squabbling?
You two are too busy. The two
Yeah,
people that
definitely.
notice are Mira and Striga.
Mira will, like, because she's a habit of moving very quietly, pop up behind, like, rise into frame behind Striga.
Do you see those?
Yes. Strange little things.
Indeed. Do you think them hostile?
I think they're waiting for blood. But what isn't these days?
I fear our brothers there might be about to give it to them.
No I mean, the mask is still on, but just like a head kind of turns and then just like turns back to like the rock paper scissors argument going on over there.
You get an amused jingle from Mira. The bells all shake with, like, a repressed giggle.
As the argument continues, Bastion, you can feel Elias, the shield, in your hand, bracing itself. It gets heavier, more sturdy.
I think he stops. Like he's not one to like try and finish the argument on top. You know, he said his piece, so he stops. And can I? Can I try to like intuition it? Like clearly, it's preparing itself. Can I like kind of try to intuit what it's preparing itself for? I imagine that I feel some of that like repressed, forgotten pain that I've given to it, like almost like draining into it more kind of situation kind of. Can I try to like intuit what I should be preparing for here?
It's preparing. You think back to the Order of Stone and all the knights that have come through the forest, who have participated in the hunt. You think of the knights that didn't come back. You think of the knights that retired and went to the land beyond the trees. And then you realize that you don't know how long the hunt has gone on. You can't remember the number of nights you've lost, and the anxiety emanating from the shield is in anticipation for perhaps another lost night.
He'll like hold up his fist, almost like everyone else stop kind of situation. I think that something about the shield as well. It's what does it take in order to remain unblemished and unbroken was one of the questions that surrounded the shield. And I think it's feeding it the good memories. The shield is unyielding, but for all the pain it prevents is all the pain it causes. You just get left with just the bad stuff at the end. Only your pain is immortal, all the joy dies, right? And I think that I'm gonna try to like kind of see through that. Like, can I remember if all the joy is gone? Like, if all the stuff that makes me is gone, can I still remember how much pain there was? Like, is this like a long cycle we've been in? Can I try to like feel
You can either
that?
mark. I don't know.
Guile.
I'll take a
Guile?
complication if there's no other option. I'll take a complication.
Guile seems to be the only thinky stat we have.
Yeah,
Guile
kind
is
of.
the only thing
You
he's
can
got.
say. I'd say valor. This is
Valor?
like an
I'll do
intense
valor.
emotion that you're trying to evoke.
Yeah, he's trying to hold fast against it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll do valor.
Okay, you mark one valor, and you find yourself in a memory. There's a young knight in the forest, happen upon an enormous tree. You cannot see its edges, and it climbs straight up into the sky. And this knight bears a crest unfamiliar to you, and he has his hand on the tree. He's pleading, says, "For the spirits have overrun the forest. I ask something, anything, to call the spirits. Give my people a chance to survive and to live." And in that moment, you feel the tree take his memory and hand him a shield.
Okay. I don't know that answers a lot of questions for Bastion, other than he feels like, well, we're part of a cycle, and let's see this through rather than get detoured from it. So he does the like raising his fist thing to kind of end the argument, and looks out at, you said we're coming to like a clearing or something, right?
Yes, the lumberyard is
lumberyard.
The Yumberlard.
The Yumber
Yeah.
The
Lad.
Yumper
Yes.
Lord.
Feels like a Dark Souls
Someday
boss.
I'm gonna clown on you guys, and then you'll all see.
I was gonna say the Yumper Lord sounds like an eldritch being beyond comprehension.
Yep. Yumber
Much like a
Lord,
Philadelphian.
Lord of the Forest.
Excuse you.
As
And I will-
Bastion lowers his fist and readjusts the shield on his arm, Striga, you keel over
Oh.
as the scroll sears in your hand, and it says, "Elias remembers."
Are you all
At
right?
least.
Offer a hand.
I'll take it with the hand that's not currently holding the, I assume, slightly on fire scroll or whatever's going on there. Magical.
It just burns. It's not actually on fire. Normally it's not painful to hold, but it's an
I'd hope so.
instance where the knowledge it's given you up until this point has had very little drawback besides your physical appearance. This is the first time where it doesn't like that a memory has escaped the enchantment behind the shield.
Elias remembers.
Elias?
What did you say?
There's magic on that you perhaps should not be tampering with.
Whatever it may take from me, I can give. I'm used to paying prices.
And with that, we step into the lumberyard.
Yeah.
We walk into a section of the woods that have been cut, where the trees have been cut down to stumps. The remnants of a logging camp decimated by something. The memory of the area, a memory within the area assaults the knights. You see a spirit, the body of an elk, the face of an owl, branches curled as horns on the side of its head. It sits and watches an army of knights as it enters the clearing. It rests in the branches of an elder tree. With one swift motion, It raises on its hind legs. It outstretches its hands, 6 fingers on each hand, and lets loose a volley of spores as the knights freeze in place, twist, turn into lumber, grow into trees. When all is said and done, the area becomes silent once more. It turns to a group of villagers behind it and says, "Take what you must."
It had an owl face and branching antlers?
Yes.
Interesting.
And the body of a deer? An elk?
Like an elk
Yes.
centaur with 6 fingers on each hand and a weird owl face and branches?
No, not a centaur. The front hands were the front hooves were hands.
Oh,
back.
that's worse.
Like that deer from Adventure
that's
Time?
worse.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yes.
Wally,
The memory fades, and you find yourselves within the lumberyard.
is this one of your dumb creatures?
You don't know that.
That was a memory.
That was a memory.
So
I
these
assume
trees,
since we didn't turn into trees.
all filled here.
It's all so hard to tell now. All right. Well, I'm heedless, so I'm just gonna walk forward and through. I'm not really afraid of anything.
In the place where
Yeah.
there was an elder tree, is there still an elder tree?
Yeah.
There's an enormous stump with a sigil burned into it.
Ooh, a sigil.
What does the sigil say or depict?
It depicts that of some sort of spirit, an elk, the face of an owl, twisting horns that are branches, hands where its front hooves are.
Are there any like
This is one of your.
are there any like axes about, like lumberyard gear?
Yeah. There's a bunch of saws, axes, large cutting material. There's some firewood left over. The actual lumber yard house seems to have been rotted over and abandoned long ago.
Given how profitable these hunts seem to be for the local peasantry, you'd think they'd be less quick to try and kill us.
I'd like to pick up an axe and then also sit down and try and enter that quiet concentration and listen for the sounds of a deer moving through the forest.
Okay, you can either mark. Let's say this one. I don't want to say guile. Actually, we'll say guile again. Fuck it. Yes. Guile or take a complication.
We keep being too smart. We gotta try punching stuff once in a
I
while.
want a complication again.
What do you think I've been trying to do?
Second beast.
We've had one, yes, but what about second footstep echoing?
Complication. We're going for complication.
Oh yeah.
here? All right. As you sit down, you attempt to listen. You hear, once again, the sounds of hooves in the back of your mind. They start to move and then they stop, as if they know you're listening. And in a flash, from the tops of the trees, a shadow passes over the lumberyard.
It would seem we are once again not alone.
I'd like to load up the sling with one of the pieces of rubble I picked up from the keep earlier and kind of stand at the ready for the first sign of anything that jumps out at us to fire away. To hurl, as it is.
Unless there's anything else anybody wants to do, I will... Okay.
I'm not stupid, so I'm not gonna stab the sigil. Although I really wanna.
Once
Wanna
again,
poke the bear.
I don't think
The
I'm
shadow-
clever enough to do anything with the sigil.
I might touch the tree stump with the sigil on it, but
okay, we can do that. As you,
I said
as you
might.
approach,
Do you? Do you?
you could.
I
If you're not going to do
why
anything,
complication?
Why the
the
hell
shadow.
not, right?
If you're not going to do anything, the shadow once again will pass over the clearing as if jumping from one end one tree to another tree on the other end of the clearing. This is fairly large. It's maybe a quarter mile.
Well, I will inquisitively touch the tree trunk, but not the sigil itself.
As you touch the tree trunk, the scroll once again speaks to you in the back of your mind. Curious, are we?
To a fault.
Spirit here. Dangerous one. The horror of the forest. His anger has turned his grace against the locals. You'd be best not to know his name. You'd be best to keep moving. And as you say that, a third time the shadow passes into the clearing. It seems to hover in midair, directly beneath the line of sight. It's betwixt, somehow it's positioned itself betwixt all of you, the sky and the sun. So it's weird. What's the...
Eclipse?
Eclipse, yes. As it hangs in the air. Its shape indiscernible due to the fact that you guys got to look at the sun.
A protector turned against the forest.
And it charges at the Knight of Stone.
If anything starts charging, Mira is immediately slinging the pieces of keep at it, at the shape.
Okay. You can either mark haste or take a complication. But this spirit seems to be coming right at Bastion. In a flash, its face is mere inches of yours, its horns curled in towards you, piercing your shoulders. Take 2 harm.
Moi?
Yes.
Okay. I was not expecting that, because usually these things do not bother me. So he was just going to stand his ground and be like, fuck you. Let this thing ram into him. Okay, so it pierces me. Is anything else resolved, or should I...
this is the moment where
action?
we are at the... Did you mark haste, or did you take a complication?
I marked haste.
Okay. As you do so, the stone hits the creature on the side of its neck. It turns to look at you, but it finds itself unable to do so due to its horns being stuck within Bastion.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna just mark off the quest, use pieces of a monument of the forest as ammunition real quick.
I think this is evidence enough for me to stab the sigil. My thinking being that if the sigil is the source of this shadow monster's power, and in destroying it, it will destroy them. So I will again pierce to the very soul of a thing, leaving behind ashes as an omen, but the forest will not tolerate this. I stab the stump of the elder tree.
Once again, from overhead, with one arm outstretched, you aim carefully, you pierce straight through the sigil. The stump of the elder tree melts into ash, leaving rings that radiate outwards. Titus pulls back its horns.
Oh no, we know its name now.
Looks towards Rooker. Now, somehow, unnaturally blacker than before.
It was restraining it. It was restraining it.
Curse.
Haste.
A knight who dares desecrate my domain. He puts his horns to the ground, once again charges, this time at Rooker.
Alright, I'm gonna stop this motherfucker. I'm just gonna grab it by the antler. I'm gonna pull it down onto the ground. I'd like to use the Valor if that's chill.
Sure. With ease, Bastion wraps his hands around Titus's neck, brings it to the ground before he can charge at Rooker.
Yield.
Titus thrashes.
I'll just try to do my... It didn't really work the first time, but I'm going to try to use the protect all who lay hands on the shield from the dangers of the forest. I'm going to use that to try and keep myself from harm here. I'm just going to hold it on the ground as long as I have to.
You can either roll Valor to do it successfully, or Haste to block any damage, or if you don't want to use either one of those two things, take a Complication.
Okay, so I is this in addition to a Valor I used to pull it down in the first place? Okay.
Yes.
I will take a Complication.
Okay.
He's not a haste dude.
No. Titus will lash out and somehow get his hand onto your face.
God, he has hands.
He has hands.
No! I take it back.
6 cold, coarse fingers
6?
wrap around
6?
your head, fishing for a crevice beneath your helmet.
Ooh, big hands.
You can feel it now, gravelly and cold, as Titus screams. His voice echoes through all of your heads. Mira, you specifically...
You got it.
That's correct.
You feel anguish, pain, betrayal in this wail. As for the next 10 minutes, Titus tries fruitfully to leave Bastion's grip, and then he falls limp, crying.
In that 10 minutes, I would like to have walked up to him and put my hand on him. I wish to know your pain.
Once again, Striga, you're met with the memory.
Mm-hmm.
You see the villagers of the forest chopping down the trees of the knights. Rather swiftly, time passes. Once again, they ask Titus for more trees. No knights volunteer, so he gives pieces of himself. He rips his antlers off. He plants 2 large trees. Those seem to last for 2-3 years. You feel the passage of time rack at your body. The villagers once more come. Titus's antlers not yet grown back fully. He pulls what he has left. You see him rip his tail off as the tree grows to the size of one elder tree. And he watches in pain as they chop it down, they take it again, and they build their villages. And then 4th time they come, but Titus is not there. Time ravages on. 5 years passed. Seems the villagers have all but left the forest. Only a few. The ones that stay no longer come to bother him. Time marches forward. You see yourselves enter the clearing. You feel Titus's rage boil up once again. And you find yourselves in this moment.
Injustices are often wrought on the compassionate.
Bastion's just gonna look at you like... Because Bastion didn't see any of that stuff, right?
No, this is all Striga.
So I'm holding whatever this freak's name is down, and Striga says that. So Bastion is not going to say anything, but he will look at you like, what? Like, I know you just learned something.
The forest's bounty is not easily given, and those who give it often find themselves paying the price in blood.
We have no quarrel with you, beast. Does our hunt bring us to conflict? If not,
Titus,
there is no reason to continue this struggle.
Titus turns to you, sadness in his eyes. Continue your hunt. If you fail, I merely ask, may I use your corpses to plant more trees?
For me, at least. You would
No.
be doing a great kindness. Although I can't speak for my friend over there.
Sky burial for me.
Isn't that where they dropped
It's
you
a
out
thing.
of the plane?
No,
what? No, it's when you
being eaten,
you get
being eaten
exposed
by-
on a mountaintop and birds eat you.
That's not
Yeah.
better. That's not better at all.
It's what I want.
How many historical cultures do you think practice the noble art of chucking corpses out of planes?
They adapted as modernization occurred.
Yeah.
If I'm taken by
His first thing
this,
was just tying him to the backs of really big birds, but even those birds weren't quite big enough.
I'm sorry I asked.
Sorry.
I'm sorry
Anyway.
I needed clarification.
All right.
Everyone else has an answer, and Bastion has one as well. He'll say to it, "You're welcome to try. I think you'll find the corpses of those who take the Oath of Stone to be unyielding."
I suppose. I have no quarrel with becoming a tree.
With that, Titus gets up, walks up into the air, with an enormous leap, bounds up out of the clearing and onto the treetops and out of sight. Mira, you hear in your head, onwards to the flying lake, and he gives you his call.
Ooh. It would seem our next course of action is open to us, and perhaps an ally.
And Mira will give a pointed glance over at Rooker.
Should we not prove to be too rash in the future?
As far as I'm concerned, I helped it regain its power.
Well, I suppose we don't entirely understand the nature of that sigil. So anything is possible, really.
And
There's
only
a
one
lot
of
of
us
that
drew
going
blood this
around.
encounter.
And with that, we leave the clearing. Technically, Rooker, you stab the heart of an elder tree.
Hell yeah!
Hey! Technically, my favorite way to win.
I would say that is accurate.
And the keep from before definitely counts as a monument of the forest, question mark.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, that counts as well.
2 quests, baby. We're down. We got 2 more checked off this
Oh,
encounter.
beans. I need to either initiate PvP or figure out where to find some sacred blood. Because I didn't want this guy's blood. He seemed too sad.
Our
Let's
next
talk like that makes it beast food, you know?
Our next locale would be the one perhaps most complicated and most aligned, Rooker, with your domain. This
Well, these descriptions seem woefully vague, but I'll do my best.
The trees are
I'll
not
go and
known
leap
for
to the
their
treetops.
Oh,
I'll leap to the treetops
he's gone.
and
He is gone.
as I sort of
got him.
I'll scan around basically is what I'll do. Looking
All
for
right.
a lake in the sky.
You are most at home in the sky. You can either give me a valor or a guile approach,
I'll do valor.
or mark a or I can give you a complication. But okay, it's fine. It is a relatively warm day, cloudless. And as you scan the treetops, they seem to go on for miles. In the distance, you see a clump of clouds floating ominously, waiting. That is your destination.
I don't descend from the treetops. I yell down to the others. I see our quarry. Keep up. And I'll just bound along.
Okay. You guys are gonna have to roll something to keep up with him because it's tough seeing him through the trees.
Criminy. I'll spend a haste. I haven't spent any points yet, so it feels only fair.
If there wasn't a soul price paid every time I hurled myself, I would just continue to hurl myself with the sling ability.
It's like when you're throwing ender pearls, you always take damage
Yeah.
on the landing.
Yeah.
I'm extracting approaches from them. Does this count as testing the metal of my fellow knights?
That's good.
I'll say this. Yeah, actually, if all three of them can find a way to do this without occurring a complication, I'll say yes, you tested the metal of your
All right,
knights.
sure.
I think.
Oh,
Go
please. Oh. No, you.
I'm trying to think because I do feel like haste is the best thing here. Like he's not generally fast, but he's also not not in a like he's too slow and lumbering way. More in a he's like a thoughtful way. So I feel like he's got some good endurance. So he's just gonna like wordlessly without complaint, just go.
Or you
Maybe
could
that's more
roll into
valor.
a ball, Goron style, and just throw them.
Yeah, good.
It's the other option.
Yeah. I mean, I'd want to like a haste to keep up, but that doesn't feel that feels a little empty. It's just saying, like, I use haste to
that
run.
might be valor.
So
I'll use haste to keep up. I have no shame.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. I'll
I've
round out
incurred
the
like 3
trio.
mutations at this point. Who the fuck knows what my legs look like now?
I'll round out the trio. I was gonna see if I could maybe use Guile to keep my ears trained on the sound of him moving through the treetops and follow that sound rather than having to keep him in eyeshot.
Rooker is
I'll allow
certainly
it.
not being
I'll allow
quiet.
it. Yes.
So I've done it. I tested the metal of my fellow knights.
Yes.
And we didn't even need to initiate PvP to do it.
That's the Rooker way, baby.
All right. As we approach the flying lake, the sound of rain is heard as the knights turn the bend around a grouping of gnarled tree. They see a lake, vast and lonesome. A gray cloud perpetually hangs above it. Fish swim from the clouds down to the lake and back up. In the center, a small tower. Yeah. Yeah, in the center of a small tower, and someone else say.
When we reach the edge of this lake in the sky, I will descend from the treetops and rejoin my companions.
And we know our quarry lies at the center of that tower.
Seems so.
The heart of the forest.
There seems to be no boats, no rafts, no stones, no path to the center of the lake. Merely a curtain of water and a variety of fish.
I'm not good at this.
Are fish beasts of the forest?
That
Can
they
you
are.
command them so?
I have one solution, but it might be inefficient. Would anyone like to get hurled? It just says a location I can see. It does not clarify a distance.
That's true.
And what is the cost of being hurled?
It just says that a soul price is paid.
Chill.
What soul price did you pay? Again, right, you took your hair off. That's what you did.
I got a bowl cut
Right?
now. Yeah.
Yes. So
That's a pretty serious price.
everybody's going to have to...
Haircuts for
Shit.
everybody.
We can't all get bowl cuts.
Mira
Can't
will sort
possibly
of...
all get bowl cuts.
Just all rocking that Gohan first arc look.
So stupid.
Unless anyone
I have
has
no
an
qualms
idea
with-
to part the sea, as it were, I think this is what I can offer to throw you across. I can't be the first to go if that's the case, though, so I offer this to you. And if anyone has any other solutions, now's the time to air them.
The targets of this spear are not just the physical, but the metaphysical. I can pierce to the very soul of a thing. I can attempt to destroy the lake, although it does seem as though you all are quite opposed to my more destructive methods. It's not even my destructive methods, it's the spear's. I'm merely wielding it as it sees fit, as it wishes to be wielded.
Are you wielding the spear, or is the spear wielding you, then? I would just ask you think... what benefit destroying the lake could give you before you choose
This
a course
is me
of action.
thinking. This is me I am offering a potential solution. You want
Noir,
more?
Noir, if you can describe to me how you do this, I will let you destroy this lake, actually.
No, Mira makes a good point. The more I think about it, the less good of an idea it seems.
What, you think
that count
just
as
use
testing
weapon
his
on
metal?
thing? Isn't it?
Because, like,
Yo, is your
The-
spirit controlling you, or are you controlling your spirit, bro? Think
That's
about that
that's
one.
pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what?
Pretty
You
good.
can mark that off. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Test his metal.
All that's left is some
Aw.
desecration or destruction.
I need to start being meaner.
like destroying a lake. That's the benefit. No. I let the potential solution hang there, but I think we all kind of know that we're not going to use it.
I don't want to lose all my hair.
I think about being hurled, and he just doesn't. Pat's just like, that seems like a bad idea. And he thinks about destroying the lake, and he's like, that seems like a worse idea. It's probably gonna be another Valor. I'm gonna burn through these motherfuckers. But could I just find a tree and use my shield and knock it down and make a bridge out of it?
Ho ho.
Mira will see him doing that and look at the axe that she picked up in the lumberyard and like think about handing it to him and then just wait to see if he notices.
Now that's what I call testing someone's
Yeah,
metal.
no. Mark Valor, rip a tree out, and
Look, I made the bridge. It took me what?
Good
10
job.
seconds?
well, you made part of a bridge. There's one tree. You knock it down, it floats upon the surface of the lake.
How far across is this thing? I want to get like a 60-foot tree.
It's a lake. It's fairly large. It's a couple miles across.
Perhaps you made not a bridge, but a boat.
Mayhaps this would make it easier.
And I'll hand him the axe.
Sharp edges and all.
Perhaps one could push. I do not think it wise for me to. I do not know how to build a boat.
What was that about flinging again?
Well, as long as I can see where you're going, I can hurl you. You do it to pay a soul price. Who knows what that means?
Well, I suppose today's for all kinds of discoveries. Yeet me, girl.
I'll hurl her.
As you sling Striga across the lake, the scroll in your essence whispers to you a name. Golhath. Sling. Forgot what fun this is. What piece of your soul shall you give me?
So you don't have
The
to get a
memory of
haircut.
daylight when it's not filtered through the tree canopy.
Ooh.
Acceptable. And as the last word as that word leaves, the echoes of your mind, you hit the tower and you take one harm.
Amazing.
Anyone else?
I don't see her take a harm, so
No.
I'll go as well.
I just like slide down the outside while she's like, anyone else? Just-
I'm flinging Rooker.
Yeah.
Rooker, as you fly,
Can't you fly?
No, I can't.
Only
I'm just,
once
No.
in the fight with the beast.
yep.
Yeah.
He just desperately wishes he could.
Yeah.
As you fly through the air, you don't hear there's no voices in your head. You
one and the
do
same.
have to give a piece of your soul though.
I'll sacrifice something rather significant. The joy of wind through my wings.
So you're gonna get thrown, but you're not gonna have any fun?
I guess so.
Tragic.
Now, I was going to use your your ability to detect oncoming danger, like hitting the tower. You
I
can
was gonna
either
ask. Yeah.
roll haste to avoid the damage, or take damage, or I can give you complication.
I'll use the haste, absolutely.
Okay.
I still have like I've barely used any of these approaches, so this is a currency that I will avail of.
All right.
Mira will turn to Bastion.
I understand that you prefer your feet planted firmly on the ground, and it's admirable to see that we have such a stalwart companion. But in this instance, I must ask you to trust that myself and the others are not making a hasty decision, and please, let me hurl you across this lake.
He'll think about it. He'll kind of like walk up very close and just kind of peer down at her and say, "And is what you've sacrificed worth it? Would you place that burden upon others, as you already have?" I look across to where they've already been flung and say, "You would ask it of a third."
I must. We have our quest. The goal is clear. Unless some other egress presents itself, this is the way forward. And above all else, the song of the forest, life, it has to move forward. And so do we.
Rocks that allow themselves to be catapulted are class traitors.
Technically, it's ammunition.
He looks over at the tree and thinks about like paddling it, and I think that he prefers the slow and steady approach, but I think he also kind of acknowledges that prices are going to have to be paid, and he's not afraid to pay. So in this kind of like heads or tails moment, he's just gonna almost flip a coin and just do the thing that's right in front of him. So I'll allow it. He'll allow it.
Be sure to brace yourself.
And I'll hurl him across as well.
As you load Bastion into the sling, you hear Golhath in the back of your mind. Ooh. This is what I throw. This is a stone worthy of great power. And he slingshots Bastion.
Oh no, I fastball special
across the lake.
Should have taken the tree boat. I was going to use my shield as a paddle.
No, but consider. Fastball special.
You can roll haste here, Bastion, or take a complication to avoid what's about to happen when you hit that tower.
He'll haste to put the shield up and try to avoid
as
it there.
You roll haste.
For sure.
You hit the tower, and a loud thunderous crack emanates from its base.
That can't be good.
It climbs up and around and into the clouds, and lightning strikes the lake. From where you're standing, Mira, on the shore, still not across, the tree is pulled underneath the water.
Oh.
Well, it's best to be with friends, I suppose.
And I'll try and hurl myself across as fast as possible to catch up with the rest of the crew and not touch the water.
With ease, you make your way across. You can either roll Valor or Haste to make it cross no problems.
I'll do Valor.
Market approach, not roll. There's no dice here.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're rolling in our hearts.
But this is cool too. Yes, that's all that matters.
Are we going to have to change the name of the show?
Approaching with difficulty.
Approaching with difficulty, yeah.
Doing stuff when we say we're going to do it.
We are rolling with difficulty because we're not rolling. It's rather difficult to do so.
Sure. As we all group up at the center of this lake tower, it starts to rain more profusely. There we go. Grammar. And larger fish start rising out of the lake. Sturgeon, perhaps. Some other large fish that I cannot name because I do not have that knowledge.
Gar,
as cracks of thunder, perhaps,
Kingfishers.
Whatever large freshwater fish there are, flashes of thunder and lightning echo around each and every single one of you. A rune patterned upon the base of this lake starts to pulse gently in a soft turquoise light. Something is coming.
I suppose it's time we stand and fight, unless there is another destination we have to go.
Well, it seems to me the tower is directly ahead, but...
You hear a shout in the back of your mind. Striga, up.
Up? I will look up.
This is not the flying lake.
Oh.
The lake is up.
Does the tower go into the cloud?
Yes, it does.
Stairs.
Now I, Sophia, know how geysers kind of work and what they look like. Is there anything geyser-like about this sudden recession of water?
Not particularly.
Cool,
No.
cool. Great.
This is not the flying lake.
This is not the flying lake.
No, I assumed we knew that the cloud was the flying lake.
Ah,
Then I suppose we need to go up.
hopefully whatever's down will let us.
Only one way to find out.
I'm gonna make for the tower door, question mark?
There is no door at the base of this tower, no. There's no windows, there's no door. It's made of solid stone, for all you know. The crack doesn't reveal any inner chamber.
Does the tower seem climbable?
It's wet.
Ugh.
That thing you did to get us out of the fort. Can you do it again to get us in the tower?
Me? There don't seem
Bastion.
to be any trees.
I believe
but I'll
he
see
was
what I can do.
referring to our rocky friend.
Ah, yes, please.
I'm afraid I will merely destroy it. I'll do what I can. Yeah. Is there some intuitive thing I could do as an oath of stone, and like find the right brick to remove to try and like get us through here, kind of situation, or to get us inside
You
without knocking it all down?
walk around the base of the tower. It doesn't seem awfully wide, perhaps 20 foot in radius. You analyze the runes until you find a gap in them. You place your hand in that gap and you wait, and it asks for a name.
Elias.
Yes.
As you say Elias, the tower repairs itself. No door appears.
So wait, so you said it repaired itself?
Yes, no door appears.
Is it still wet?
It's still wet. It's still raining.
What did you do?
I do not know. I fixed it.
Well, that's a step in the right direction.
I do not think that's true.
I would like
I will
to...
mark. Should I mark a guile for that? Even though it wasn't really guileful.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So I'll mark
I would like
guile.
to put my hand in the water.
A moment ago, it did
Okay.
suck everything into
There are no...
it. Oh, she's doing it. Okay.
There may be no trees to commune with here, but this is still part of the forest.
As you place your hand in the water, you feel the presence of a very large creature swimming around.
Ooh.
You can't quite make out its features, but you know it is almost torpedo-like. It swings with a collar of fins, large, glowing red eyes. pair of wings on its back. 2 pairs of wings on its back, I'm sorry. And that's all you can make out.
What do you
Wings?
see?
Wings.
Have
Wings?
any of you ever gone fishing before?
I can't quite recall.
I hate that this is me saying this. I just want to say that for the record. But Noir, shut the fuck up. It's not a fishing minigame.
We
Wally,
got her.
I'm so proud
we
of you,
got
man.
her.
I did it!
Ladies and
got her.
gentlemen, we got her.
I'm
Got
done
her.
with TTRPGs. I'm
All
never
right.
going to take an approach again.
Thanks, folks.
The grand
We'll catch you
conspiracy
next
finally.
time.
I am covered
And with
in...
that has been Hunt. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Perhaps we could capture this winged creature. I am covered in bells that are shiny and loud, and there are many of you who are agile and strong. Maybe take some rope, ready a trap, set the bait, fly our way up.
The bait being you in this scenario.
I suppose, unless you have a better treat, but I think this forest is most interested in us over fruits or worms.
I am inclined to agree. Is there anything that we
well.
can fashion rope out of? Or do we just have
Do we
rope?
just have rope? 50 feet of standard issue adventurer's rope?
Let's say we have 50 feet of standard issue adventure.
Okay, I'm gonna take out my ball bearings.
Anyone got a proficiency in animal handling?
I've got a dagger for 1d4 damage.
I can't believe you're making me fish.
Alchemist's kit.
I'm going to
fucking
offer
bullshit.
if Mira is making herself the bait, then I'm going to offer with my shield to stand with her to make us both invulnerable, so that hopefully we won't get hurt, and leave it to the other two. And I will charge the other two. I will say, I will keep us from harm. Do not harm the beast.
So we have bait, we have rope, we need a fishing pole.
I'll tie the rope to the spear. Now, my interpretation is that I can stab it to, like, turn it into ashes, but that has to be, like, an intentional thing. Can I just use the spear as, like, an impromptu harpoon? I doubt that using it, you know, as a normal spear would, like, barely hurt this beast or whatever like that.
I'll say
Right.
that
I think, yeah, I doubt it would.
I need you can either roll valor for this knot to tie the rope to the spear so that it does not break, or unless you have some other way to make this knot unbreakable. The spear itself will not break. It's a magical armament of the forest. You don't need to worry about that.
I'm more concerned with, like, I throw it not to kill, and then it just kills because that's what the spear does.
It won't. No, if you
Okay,
want it to
okay.
kill, it'll kill. Yes.
Cool. Valor, you said? I'll do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I tie a darn good knot on that thing,
All right.
and I'm poised to throw it at the beast whenever it comes. I shouldn't say beast because we already have, like, a beast, capital B.
There's so many beasts.
They're spirits. They're all
Creatures.
spirits.
The spirit. There we go.
Yes. Or creatures. Yeah, we can call them creatures.
La creatura.
Yeah.
With all the pieces in place, Mira will start to wade into the shallower parts of the lake if there are any. If it's like a slower incline, or does it?
Yeah, it's a gentle incline into the waters as you wait. The pouring rain, thunder, and lightning around you. It seems to feel like forever. In the background, you see the great creature leap out of the water, up into the clouds, disappear, and then torpedo down and rip Mira and Bastion off of the shore and slide into the water.
I throw
Rooker?
Panics jingling, muted through the creature's mouth.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah, I'm throwing it. I have a moment to react should something threaten me or those immediately surrounding me. So I'm hoping that my reflexes will tether the spear to the spirit.
Yeah. Easy throw. Take a quick breath as it flies through the air. Striga, once again, you hear the scroll speak to you. It says, "A hunt. That is what Egress is meant to do.
Egress.
It flies true, it hits its aim, and it pierces the beast on its side."
I'm going
I
to
grab Striga.
I'm gonna yeah.
Just hold on.
All right. Let's rodeo.
As you guys thrash, so let's get this image correctly. So we have Bastion and Mira in the jaws of this beast.
Panic jingling. Yes.
Yep, good times.
A rope attached to them, correct?
I think
Wait.
the rope is attached to the spear that got thrown into.
Okay, yes, the rope is
Side.
attached to this. Okay, so we have two
It's like a
different
harpoon
scenarios here.
situation.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm holding onto the rope and also Striga.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will also be holding onto the rope as a point of double security.
All right. As Bastion and Mira are in the maws of this beast, you look up into its red, enormous eyes as you plunge into the water of the lake below. Cold brushes up against you. The brine attempts to take your breath away. You can either roll Valor. You can roll any approach here to keep your composure in however way you see fit, or take a complication.
I'm gonna spend a valor. This is about the most direct that Mira ever gets. She vastly prefers the lurk on the sidelines, sneaking about approach to being a knight, and this is an incredibly direct thing for her to be doing.
This is my last Valor, but what am I? You spend them or don't you? You know, they're here to be spent, so
no.
I'll use it.
Okay, let's cut to Rooker and Striga on the backs of the beast, of the creature, holding on to dear life.
I mean, I'll
Not
also
even having
burn a
fun,
valor
'cause
to
I
hold
don't-
my breath.
I'm not even having fun because I don't
Steer
have
it.
Well, are we underwater at this point?
You are underwater. You have to
Yeah,
hold
I
on.
think it's less about the wind beneath your wings and more about the not drowning.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, what would be, in addition to like holding my breath underneath the water, is there anything that I can do to try and steer this creature?
What can the spear do again? Right, can just test me. No. Just hold on to the spear.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Then what was it? Expend a valor to hold on.
Any of the approaches.
I'll do guile. I'll kind of like wrap the rope around me to just, and then like, I don't know. I think the way that Rooker is interpreting it, he's just like trying to like maneuver the spear like a joystick.
Yeah.
You gotta ride the sandworm. At least I'm not Gaib.
Yeah. Now I'm driving the worm.
All right, and Lyle, Striga, almost peeked behind the DM screen right here. Anything you'd like to do?
Oh, does the scroll have a name? I mean, no, I think I'm just holding on. This is a little bit outside my area. Although I am a little curious about this big fella. He doesn't seem to have as much ennui as the last guy.
As you hold on to this creature, the scroll once again speaks through your mind. I forgot the thrill of the hunt. My friends here, Elias, Golhath, Egress, once again on the hunt. This creature, this spirit, Still has the spunk it had all these eons. And yet, we have not left the lower lake. What are you doing? Guide her. Guide her upwards, towards the sky.
Alright, I guess I will, I suppose this might work? I don't know. My bend reality thing is pretty vague. I would like to the eyes of the big fish boy, reveal... Well, I don't really know. It says, the true forest behind the veil. I don't know what the sky looks like there. But if I could part the waters just over it and give it a peek of just, like, up... I imagine it has never seen an unobstructed sky.
You do know what's up there. The heart of the forest. You give it a mental picture of where you'd like to go, and the beast complies. It swiftly changes course, heads back towards the surface of the water. You find yourselves back in the rainstorm beneath the clouds, going upwards, 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 through a thick cloud of vapor, and onto sunlight once more.
Oh, I forgot what that feels like. Strange.
As you look down on the ground, the cloud seems to dissipate. An illusion of sorts, as a different forest floor meets you. A calm lake below, a small island in the middle of this lake, and a church at its center. The beast lands in at the edge of the shore and waits gently.
Huh. I will dismount the big fish.
Same.
I will roll slightly less gracefully out of the maw of the big fish.
It does not let go.
Hello, please let go.
Beast, you better release them. You've outserved your usefulness, and I'm kind of like holding the spear threateningly.
Easy.
As you hold the spear threateningly, its four wings sort of unfurl on its back. Its eyes dart towards you.
I keep the spear held up. Drop it.
You can either roll Guile here, I guess. Guile or Valor, I'll allow, to make the creature drop the other two knights, or you can take a complication.
I'm doing Guile.
Guile?
I don't want no complication.
The beast
Guys are no fun.
regards Egress, blinks, opens its maw, and lets go of the two knights.
The
Good Leviathan.
worm.
I never want to have to go surprise fishing again.
As you two climb upon the shore, it swiftly turns, disappears underneath.
Oh, Striga took on another mutation and is roughly 6 inches taller than she was when you went in the fish.
Fucked up.
Did she get taller or did I get shorter?
You hear in your mind, Striga, freedom is close.
Very well. To the church, I think.
Shake off the water. All the bells go jingle, jingle, jingle.
The worm saliva.
Ugh.
Okay.
Let us finish this then. I'm gonna look to Rooker, who did not kill the big fish, and just give like one half nod and continue on.
I have one question. Is there any fish blood on the tip of the spear?
Yes, there is.
Can I have it?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. And once I figure out an appropriate ritual,
Y'all have
I can...
such specific quests.
Well, it's just a specific part of an otherwise generic quest. Write the words of a new ritual upon the scroll with sacred blood. Girl, what the fuck does that even mean?
You could write this new ritual to have this fish ferry you up into the.
That didn't feel like a
Sky
ritual.
Lake.
I'm not equipped in ritual crafting.
Ahead of you, an unfamiliar forest. All of you have studied the forest below at some point. You are knights of your respective orders. You are familiar with the methodologies of the hunt. There are various creatures, beasts that you can fight. You have met 2 of them. You've met Titus, Horror of the Forest, and Lila, the Leviathan.
Oh, that's such a cute name.
But moving forward, it seems that we've crossed the veil. This new forest seems to be the realm of spirits. And as we approach the tree line, you find yourselves among them. Creatures both small and large. Once again, you see the strange, translucent humanoids walking among you. You see small, hedgehog-like creatures with peacocks on their foreheads. Peacock feathers on their foreheads. Spider-like appendages poking out from underneath their quills, scurrying about. You see turtles climbing trees with small angelic wings flittering about.
Oh my god, we found weird little dude heaven.
This is amazing.
It's every weird little dude we've ever wanted in one place all at once.
Man, I think I have descriptions for one more.
You have descriptions for all of them, Wally.
Shut up. You see an enormous frog-like creature.
Excellent.
With feet, with
less excellent.
feet of a rabbit and a small
Okay, acceptable.
fluffy tail.
Good, better even.
They have a third eye on their foreheads.
I was gonna say that looks like a third red eye.
Yes. All of these creatures out and about enjoying their time in the forest.
You guys have visual aids?
Striga,
Yes.
you know your way towards the church.
Yeah.
As you walk closer and closer, something in your back of your mind tells you, wait, we're going in the wrong direction. It's not the scroll. It's your intuition of the woods. And you find yourself constantly realigning yourself.
I suppose it makes sense that this side of the forest would be deceptive.
Are you certain that we go the right way?
I'm not certain of anything in this place. That's what makes it so interesting.
Interesting is a word you can use, I suppose.
What's the vibe? Are the rest of us not having fun?
If it is not the right way, is it a trick?
Up until this point, the way Striga has been going has been the same direction that the spirits seem to also be going.
Okay.
Seems the
You
forest
can't tell
is
if
with
they're
us.
leading you or you're leading them.
So up till now, as in including in this
Yes.
special... Okay, so I'm basically following the paths that the spirits are taking, even though I guess the direct route to the heart of the forest would be different?
Up until this point, it's been your connection to the spirits that have been guiding you throughout the forest. Now that you're closer and closer to the heart, it seems to keep redirecting you every time you get closer.
Well, I'm inclined to trust my instincts on this, unless it takes, I guess, too long. But nobody's obligated to follow my directions.
I'd rather place my faith in my
But we
fellow
will.
knight than a vague intuition, so if you go one way with certainty, I'll follow.
You can either roll guile, or I can articulate this complication.
Do we still see the tower coming up from the...
Oh
the
yeah,
Lumen?
that weird tower.
you would have seen on the shore, there would have been the tip of the tower, which looks like a small a pyramid, four-sided pyramid.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, like an obelisk.
But you guys are like in the forest now. You have left the shore.
I'll spend a guile. I have not yet spent one, so.
Yeah, the spirits are stopping you from reaching the heart of the forest.
Guys, we've been vibing so well up till now. All right.
I have a spear with all their names on it.
Yes, I'm sure they find that very comforting.
They're preventing us from our goal.
They're simply misleading us. It's in the forest's nature. I will start overriding that little voice in the back of my head and following what the scroll said instead. Seems like a good precedent to set.
The scroll seems smug now.
That's probably fine.
Back to me again and my secrets. That's what you've come for. All right. You're looking for the leader of this disgusting band of spirits. One named, and you don't hear this name, you see it's less words and more of a symbol. But if you were to translate it to English for our listeners, Theodore would be the name.
Theodore?
Theodore. With an F.
Huh. Interesting.
He's known as the Swarm. He's not one spirit, but all spirits. But also one spirit. You're looking for one of the small ones. The hedgehog-like creatures with their grassy quills. Their peacock feather on their foreheads. This one seems to be a little larger, though.
Could I
Ask around.
take a moment to concentrate on the sound of a hedgehog and see if I can't zone in on that kind of movement? I would describe a hedgehog as a mundane forest creature, even if this thing is not.
It's hedgehog-like. They also have spider limbs. Four regular hedgehog feet and then 4 spider feet.
So necessary.
Yeah. Yes. So you concentrate on the sound. You hear the sound everywhere. There's literally thousands of them every corner you turn. They look like a blanket of grasses covering the forest floor, and they all crawl around together.
There are a lot of these.
One that's larger than the others.
Would we be able to mark an approach in order to spot it or
Yeah.
to nab it?
Yes, you can mark haste because this particular spirit seems to be avoiding your eyesight.
Okay. I'll do that. I feel like I'm the best equipped in order to spot fast-moving things.
You catch him before he slips behind another gaggle of these little hedgehogs. His peacock feather seems to be a little more ostentatious. Instead of the typical, green,
He's a little fancy man.
blues, and browns, this one seems to have bright spots of red as well. And you hear a little eep as he notices you spot him.
Your Honor, I
Yo,
love
is this
him.
dude Eepy?
He's
Now we
eepy.
find
And he
the true
darts
face of evil.
away from the 4 of you.
I follow it.
Okay.
Follow the
Rooker.
hedgehog.
We're following him.
Yes.
Okay.
You see him book it through the trees, underneath logs, around bushes, up trees as well, onto the canopy, upside down, with his little spider limbs. He slides down through a thicket of roses with nasty thorns, and you hear a little chuckle. Okay, Theodore is safe.
Hey. So I just heard Theodore's safe. Does that mean anything to anybody?
No?
Kinda seems like the thing someone might say if they were trying to lead us away from one Theodore.
I'm just wondering if there's anything I can do with this symbol for this little guy. Feels like the kind of thing I could start fucking around with some sacred blood ritual stuff.
You guys have seen symbols for 2 creatures so far. The symbol around the tower was Lila's symbol, and the symbol at the lumberyard was the symbol for Titus.
You don't think that's
I think I would like to try drawing Theodore's symbol on like a little empty patch of scroll in some of that blood I picked up from Lila.
Do we have... I don't think you guys have not run into Theodore's symbol yet.
I thought you said I was told it by the scroll, so I saw it.
Oh, right. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's true.
Okay, okay.
That is correct.
It appeared in its speech bubble somehow, and then it was pronounced Theodore.
Correct. So you
Just doodling
take
it.
a moment. You pull out the scroll. And in the blood of Lila, you write Theodore's symbol. And you hear a little eep. Theodore's been summoned. And all around you, all the other hedgehogs, all the other hedgehogs disappear into the ground. And Theodore comes walking out of the rose bush. All right. I've been got. What do you want?
Is Theodore another hedgehog?
Yes, he's a slightly larger hedgehog with a more ostentatious.
He was the
peacock
hedgehog.
feather.
He was the
Yes.
hedgehog,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
He was speaking in the third person. I understand now.
Yes.
I think.
Okay.
Yes, I am Theodore. Ask Theodore anything.
The path to the heart of the forest.
The path to the heart of the forest. Right. That's all they ever want. Okay. Look, if you want to get to the heart of the forest, it's really simple. He reaches up with his one of his spider limbs. He plucks the peacock feather. He lays it down. You have to prick yourselves. To pass the trees, you must bleed.
What an interesting sentiment I've never heard expressed before.
I thought that was only referring to the first time. You mean we have to bleed again?
Oh, this has already happened?
What?
The beast and its arms cradle the forest. Its calluses have not yet formed scars. To pass the trees, you must bleed. This is a separate forest, under the same rules. They're all linked inextricably. So
I suppose there's a logic in that. Very well. Does it have to specifically be with this feather, or can it be with anything else?
these are Theodore's forest. You have to use Theodore's feather.
That's very obliging.
Very
of you.
well.
Is he always this grumpy?
Yes.
I'll just I'll pick up the feather and ploink. I think
I
I'm
feel like I've
bleeding
been nicer
black
these
now,
last
but
few. But
As you prick yourself, you buckle over in pain.
yeah.
The forest reels around you as from the darkest corners you feel a figure watching over you. Not one that you've seen before, but familiar. Something you're destined to become.
Ooh. I mean, oh no.
You return.
can you pass now?
She knows where it is.
Thank you, Theodore.
All right.
Go for it.
Yeah. I'm
Does
taking
everyone
it.
else also need to bleed, or are we
I'll
good?
prick myself. Oh, well, actually. Before I do that, I remember that I was the only one that I had to bleed the first time we passed through the forest, so...
Yeah, well, it's a more magical forest. There's interest now.
I mean, you can, but just the one.
All right.
Well, thank you for your help.
I'll take one of the bells off of my armor. Be like,
Here. You know, help for gift.
He climbs onto you.
Oh,
You
God.
feel
It's happening.
his little hedgehog feet on you, and then you also feel the little spider feet on you as well. He crawls around, he sort of inspects you, and he says, "You know the Song of the Forest?"
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for this gift. He grabs the bell. You see him shuffle it into his little grass quills. He sort of closes his eyes, concentrates real hard, and another peacock feather appears on his forehead.
Okay.
He says, I guess I can give you this. And he sort of nuzzles you with his forehead at the base of the feather. If you have any harm, you recover 1.
Oh, from my footstep.
Oh.
Says, good luck with the beast. And he disappears into the forest floor.
Well, that was startlingly whimsical.
I feel less prepared for that than I felt for just about anything else we've done today.
Would you have a path now?
Yes, I believe so. I will attempt to walk towards the church.
This time, you can block out the guidance of the spirits, and you only need to follow one, Theodore's, as you make your way to the church. As you approach, as it comes into view, one last challenge lies before you. A large rock faces you. You don't quite recognize it from this vantage point, but as you circle around it, you recognize its shape and the figure at its base. There is a knight that rests at the base of this rock, its corpse pierced by a sword.
Oh boy. Do we recognize the knight? Like, how long has he probably been dead for?
It's tough to tell how long he's been there for, but I'll say this is another Order of Stone knight.
Well, when they die, they typically, well, from what I've read, when they die, they typically turn to stone.
This one's been bled out.
Ooh.
Oof.
Blood from a stone.
Did he then turn to stone? Like afterwards?
It's usually that they live so long they turn to stone.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's like a thing that happens to them naturally from being a stone knight.
So perhaps dying prematurely denies them that particular...
Very well, brother. I will... yeah, he's not one to really consider it. He's like, well, we made it. We beat the challenges. And this is one of mine, so it might as well be a problem I mop up. I will go and attempt to pull the sword from the corpse.
Yay! Sword and shield.
As you pull this sword, you're overwhelmed by a memory. Once again, you see a young knight at the base of this enormous tree. He has in his hand Egress, the spear. Elias on his back. Golhath the sling on his hip. And at his foot, this sword. And he says to the great tree, I've done a terrible thing. I've unleashed a demon upon this forest, and it seeks to corrupt the spirits. I seek your aid in sealing it away. And in your mind, you watch as the bark of this tree slowly peels off and curls into the shape of a scroll and fall at the base, at the foot of this knight. He says, sorry, I'm looking through my notes. Oh, okay, yeah, he doesn't say anything. And he picks it up and he says, I know what I must do. Return to present day.
Huh. The mysteries are too dense for me to untangle. So, did the sword come out?
Yes, you pulled the sword.
Oh, okay.
You have the sword now.
Do you wield it now?
I hold it.
You can
now.
choose to wield it. You merely hold it right now.
I hold it now. Is this not all we require?
Yes.
Is the hunt
All
not over?
5.
We have all
The hunt
five.
is over when you kill the
is
beast.
dead, or when we die.
Or when you guys are dead.
Our quest.
That's the only way you can leave the forest.
Yeah.
So then where is the beast?
Just gonna turn my face to the church.
Center of the forest.
I think so. Austin does not know what the sword does.
The sword is kind of it's the meanest option.
I think that might be the case, and so I would like to. I've pulled it from my fellow Order of the Stone, and I will look to each, and then each of the other knights, and then I will present it to Rooker, and I will say, I do not know the depths to which this sword will ask me to sacrifice for it to be of use. I do not wish to know. I have given much already, and I do not think that I could wield it in the way it was meant to be used. Perhaps it takes a fiercer soul, but I challenge you thusly. If you would take the greatest of the weapons, wield it not with ferocity, but with wisdom. Do you think this is a charge you could uphold? Or do I spell doom for the Order to bequeath this blade upon you?
You mistake my ferocity for naivete. There is much that I have sacrificed as well in wielding this alone, and I gesture to the spear. It would be folly to take up 2 in one lifetime.
Very good. Would this count as testing a knight's mettle?
Yeah, you offered him a weapon more suited to his personality. And
The spear's pretty suited to my personality.
The spear does cut to the
It
soul of the
does
thing,
just
right?
annihilate things. Yeah.
I believe the sword does too, right? Yeah.
The sword is the mean bitch option.
It cuts through an obstacle is what it does.
It
not
always
necessarily a
causes
creature.
collateral damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also, when you use it to kill a mundane creature of the forest, either a small part of you or a large part of a party member gets sliced off. It's the mean bitch option.
When I use the
well, I
shield to
didn't-
kill a creature, it just says you have to clean it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It just goes, if you sully the shield can be
I
used to
fully
kill a
did not
mundane
read that
creature.
far.
If
I
you
did not
sully
know-
it, just clean it.
The scroll
I did
just
not know
makes
that's
me
what would
cooler.
happen if you took up.
All right, I will. I'll just sheath it then. I'll put it away.
And I guess we approach the church.
Let's do it.
Find yourselves at the center, the heart of the forest, and you're confronted all with a vision. You see the island once again, from some incorporeal place, but you see what the island used to be. You see that of a great tree, miles wide, infinitely tall, its branches overlooking a smaller forest. Spirits, humans, living in harmony, and the introduction of one mote of the void. And as that vision fades, you see the center of this church a sigil with 4 places to put a weapon and 1 more slot in the center.
Well, it seems it's fairly clear what they wish for us to do.
A refreshing change of pace.
Yeah, I'll go and I'll go and put the spear in.
Sword
you
and
put
shield.
the spear in its appropriate place. And you hear Ygriss the spear, used to pierce the hearts of the corrupted beasts, rather lithe, gigantic, or sorry, there's a third option. Either lithe, fierce, or gigantic. It's done its time. It's done what it had to do time immemorial, and now it is home. Thank you, valiant knight.
I'll follow suit with the sling.
Golhath, the sling, its aim peerless, regardless of distance. Its slain beast both lithe, fear, and gigantic. Welcome home. Thank you, valiant knight.
I'll put the shield away.
Alias, protector of the innocent and stubborn against its enemies. It has slain beasts, lithe, fierce, and gigantic. Welcome home. Thank you, valiant knight.
I'll put the scroll in its place.
Mode of corruption. Found amongst the roots of the forest. Bound for all eternity to make right its transgressions. Lexia, the Legion. Welcome back to your imprisonment.
Well, that bodes well. I think we need to put the sword in the middle.
I'll put the sword away.
Let me pronounce this correctly. Oxus, the sword that has felled with cunning and strategic cuts. Could have written that better. That has slain beast lithe, fierce, and gigantic. Welcome home. Thank you, valiant knight. And with that, the whole church rumbles. And once again, through a curtain of trees, moonlight carving reality around its footsteps, the sound of wind chimes echoes through each of your heads. A mix of sadness and anger overwhelm you. You can't see its body, but because it's obscured by layers and layers of rusted armor, each coat of arms made indistinguishable by the heavy march of time. The beast steps into the church. So, you've made it to the heart of the forest. Congratulations. Do you still wish to take its arms home?
I don't think that Bastion's going to be really self-reflective about this. I think he's going to go, that was the quest. We will see it done.
But this place, it is called the Weapon's Home. And the scroll, at least, perhaps should not be taken from this place.
They were sealed in the vault for a reason. Perhaps they will be safer here.
I had resigned myself to this being my final quest no matter what. I would not wish to end on a failure.
The beast doesn't seem to be making any moves to, like, attack us or anything, does it?
No.
I go to try and pull the spear out from its place, but I don't do it right away. I just make the motion to. Does it look like the beast is
It watches.
retaliatory? Okay,
watches.
well.
There were
Says, it turns, she says, I see you have not yet decided. I can help you make the decision. The hunt must be completed. So whether you leave here with or without weapons, we must fight. Take up your
Oh,
arms.
wow, okay.
It's very
In that
obliging.
case, I'll pull the shield.
Hope you like being home for a moment. I'll just take the spear back.
Yikes.
I'll pick up the sling.
Yeah, I'll take the scroll, obviously.
All right.
Let's kill this beast.
I hope Narrator
us
Man
begin.
isn't disappointed with me.
You guys hear a roar as a seal shoots up in and around the church. Final combat is about to begin. So, the way combat works, the powers of each of your weapons have been awakened. You can choose, we go per turn. Anybody can choose to go once. And you can take one action, I think. It's one action, yeah. You can take two actions. You can either move, you can use a power, or you can use a maneuver. And the maneuvers are, so you have a, what are the maneuvers?
Good question. Everything seems to be a power.
Maneuver? I think it's anything that's not a maneuver, so. You can use them by expending whatever approaches you have left.
Oh.
That's what a maneuver is. Knights may repeat the same action, but they cannot use the same power twice in a single turn.
Cool.
So you can take two actions. You can only use a power once.
Cool per turn.
So yes.
Cool.
Fantastic. Now I have to ask you guys, how many quests have you all completed? Because this is going to be important.
I've completed 2 quests.
Okay.
I've completed 2 as well.
Okay.
If Theodore counted as a ritual on the scroll in Sacred Blood, then I've done 2.
All right.
All 3, baby.
Woohoo!
Okay, that is only 3 failed quests. It's fantastic. And we can begin combat.
Oh
That's
boy.
it. Movement is either horizontal or vertical, no diagonal.
How far can we move?
Yeah, these are 6. This is 6 by 6. So,
Ah, okay.
yeah, you can faintly see the grid.
We can
and
take
sorry,
2 actions.
Don't have the beast on the token layer. There we go.
Oh god.
Oh,
Ooh.
man.
Cool.
Perfect. So this is
Alright,
on a 6 by 6 grid. You have 2 actions per turn, so that is a move, power, or maneuver.
Cool.
Yeah, I double checked. Maneuver is just literally anything that isn't a move or a power you can spend an approach on.
How do we determine who goes first, or are we just kind of?
There's no turnover.
Choose.
Yep, we get to choose.
Okay.
So everybody goes once.
Okay.
The beast takes a turn after each and every single one of you.
Oh no!
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, excited for that, baby. All right. Move in a straight line or row or column you currently occupy. Fuck, that's not gonna be able to hit him. I don't have a lot I can do on this turn that is especially useful, because I either need to move in a straight line or I need to be within 3 squares of people, which I am not. So I have very little to do. So if anyone else has some cool, awesome move they'd like to do first.
I think it's the sling that could do something. Maybe. I don't know. The only ranged weapon that we have.
I would.
Don't you have a spear?
Yeah, but I need to be within 2 spaces, so I
Gotcha,
can't do that unless
Everything I have
I mean,
is range 0 to 2.
I can go first for the sake of going first. I'm just going to move 2 spaces so that I can set myself up for next time.
Right, I was going to ask what the rules on how much we can move in a turn are. Is it just 1 per action?
Yes. One space per action.
But we have 2 actions.
Right.
Yeah,
In
2
a
actions.
turn.
So we can
Yeah,
move
okay.
up to 2 squares if we don't do anything else. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. At the end of your turn, he's going to use a power. Armor cascades off of the beast. The glow of otherworldly light sparks out from beneath the metal, only to be quickly covered by the remaining scraps of metal. They float in the air for a moment before erupting from the beast in all directions.
Oh no.
This is a range of up to 3, so I believe that is everyone. This is going to be everyone.
Oh, so ranges can be measured diagonally, but we can't
Yes.
move diagonally. I see how it is.
So that's 2 harm to all knights.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Ouch.
And then
Good
shall-
news, everyone. We're fucked.
he will move towards the toughest guy, which will be Stone.
Okay, you can certainly try. Alright. I will take the initiative to go next. Hold on, I'm pulling up my stone power real quick. Okay, I can either block him till the start of the next round, so I can protect other people, or I can hurt him. Fuck. If I can get closer to people, then I can do a cool thing, but... you know what? Let's... Oh god, it's 0 to 1. So 0 is touching... If 0 is... range 0 is touching, then 1 is 1 space away, I suppose?
So 1 would be 1 space between you?
Like,
So
am
that's
I...
range 1.
Am I range 1 away from the Sky Knight here?
I think that's 2.
Or, because
So
I'm...
Because that's 1 square between you and the Sky Knight. Range 0 would be...
Correct.
Or do I have to be on top of someone, range 0?
I think
is
range
it.
0 is on top of someone, because you guys can share.
Yes.
We can
space.
stack?
Well,
Oh,
Gotcha,
range
gotcha,
that's much less
gotcha.
forgiving than I
0
thought it
is
was.
the same
Grid.
space as the knight. Range 0 is
Fuck.
the same space as the knight, with all other ranges being a number of spaces counted away from the knight. So where you were was 1 range away.
Sorry, so this is 1 away from you, Noir?
Actually, no, I'm so
I
sorry.
think
That's
that's
no, no.
It's 2.
That's
Yeah,
two.
that's two.
Because
Yeah.
0 is on top.
Now
All
that
right,
I
yeah.
understand, well, yeah,
We're getting it.
I gotta make some moves here. Fuck. I need to buy us all time for us to get close together so I can rally us. I'm afraid he's gonna kill me. So I will move 1 down, and then I will. Well, maybe I'll just be in range with him then. Fuck! Shit! Ass! Fuck!
Do you have anything that's range 1?
I'm a support.
Ah.
I'm a support. I could deal damage to him, but at this space, I can deal very little damage to him.
I mean,
and then I think he's gonna wail on me. So what I'm going to do, because he's really big, is I'm going to use my stone ability. I'm going to use Summon Stone, and I will create some spaces he cannot move into. So, I don't want to freehand that. I want to rectangle that. So, I'm going to block out these 2 squares until the start of the next round. He cannot move into it. I summon earthy pillars to prevent him from moving into those spaces. That is 1 action, and then... Fuck, I really want to move down so I can get closer, but then... then I think he could just get me through the diagonal, so I will... Oh wait, I can use the same... I can use the same thing... I can't use the same power twice, is that what it was?
You can't use powers twice.
You can't use powers twice. Gotcha.
Yes.
So I can't summon stone again to protect anyone else.
No, you can't use the same power twice in a single turn.
Yeah, so I
So
can't
you
summon
can't
stone.
summon stone again.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Until next turn, yeah.
You can use 2 different powers. So you could use the power from
Yeah.
your knight and power from the weapon.
I will... Range 1 to 3? Okay, I'll do it now anyway. There's only 1 person, but... I will hold my shield aloft and I will rally. I can only hit the Sky Knight with this, but Noir, you may choose for your next turn. You can either heal 1, +1 on the harm for your next power, or move 1 additional.
Ooh.
So
Okay,
when your
cool.
turn comes around, you can do that. I will summon stone and I will say, "To me!" and I will raise the shield, trying to buy some time for all of us to get together and be a little less pinned down. That pass.
All right. Monster will... Oh, God. I'm afraid I'm just stuck wailing on... Actually, not true. Okay. Monster will... Yes. Yeah, why not? We will use his maul.
Oh.
The beast quickly lashes out an arm out of the cloak of armors. You feel it before it touches you. The layers of armor seems to do nothing to stop it. A crushing blow. 3 harm to the Sky Knight.
Ow.
What are you at harm-wise?
7 out of 8.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, so I would suggest taking the +1 on your next thing.
If you can
Yeah.
get to me as fast as possible, there's something I can do.
I can do that.
Also, I can take initiative next and move closer to you if that'll help.
No.
Okay.
My Sky Knight ability is to basically remove myself from the fight for a round and then land anywhere on the field.
Perfect.
So you don't have to move towards me. I can make it to you in 1 round.
Okay, then I will move.
Well, 2 rounds technically.
I have some AoEs that are good for any knights within range.
So is it you can move and then do 2 powers, or moving is one of the slots that you're using?
Moving is one of the 2 actions
Gotcha.
you can do.
Okay.
So moving is an action, a power is an action. You can move 2, you can use 2 different powers, or you can roll a maneuver.
Gotcha.
Okay, hold on. So Stone Knight is 1 range away from the beast right now. Hold on. So if I move 1 square by the diagonal, am I 2 away from the beast?
Don't know how to measure the ring. I'll say
I think yes, because
Yes.
right, you said
Yes.
0 is occupying the same
yes,
space.
correct.
Okay. Then I would like to use one of my scroll powers, Veil Wave. A burst of power from beyond the veil pours forth from your body in a torrent, dealing 1 harm to the beast. Range 1 and
Okay.
2.
Takes 1,
Yes.
and
Chip
it
damage.
turns.
Uh-huh.
Says, "You dare unleash the power I've contained." And on its turn, it's going to move 1 And yeah, it's going to use its crash, and it's going to move to the end of any row of columns. So it's going to slide right in front of you.
Rook behavior.
That is its entire turn, though.
Ha!
Okay. Am I 4 away from it now or 5 away from it now? It's on a weird diagonal, so I'm not sure what the...
4.
4? Perfect.
Yes.
So for my first power, I'm going to use Rev Up, so I build momentum in my sling, and I'm going to choose the effect of adding 2 harm to my next fling attack. And then second power, no movement. I'm just going to use fling. It could go 2 to 4 spaces. I swing it around and hurl ammunition at the beast, and it'll be doing base 1 plus the 2 from the rev up, so 3 harm to the beast.
Nice.
That's a big hit. Okay.
And you hear as the ammunition flies through the air, just a faint, like, almost like singing or shrieking sound. I have replaced some of the ammunition with some of my bells.
Hell yeah. As the piece of ammunition strikes the armor it has on, it's going to reverberate that sound in your head. It's going to make its turn, and then the battlefield will shift.
Huh?
So it's going to start with a maul on Striga.
No, just a
That's 3 damage.
Ooh!
Then we'll move back towards the center of the room, and battle shield will shift. Time buckles as night becomes day. The night again. It repeats an impossible amount of times over the course of what seems like seconds. And when it stops, the woods feel alive once more. You can hear the clash of swords and steel as you find yourselves in the presence of the old knights of the fortress. They all turn and attack.
No.
Now merely sunlight, the beast commands them. Floating dust and wayward leaves reveal its shape as it puppeteers their bodies, the air abuzz with magic. Your minds steel themselves. The beast lurches forward.
Once more into the
You
fray.
can all mark one approach to combat these marionetted knights, or take a complication.
I'll mark a valor.
Yeah, same.
I'll mark a haste and just, like, surprisingly nimble, just kind of, like, block a bunch of blows with the shield.
I will also mark a valor.
All right, top of the order. Who's up
Okay,
first?
anyone
Okay.
want to do anything first? The stones disappear.
So am I 2 away from
Yes.
the beast? Okay. I will use...
Reminder, you get to heal 1, add 1 harm on your next power, or move 1 extra. Hey, you're at 7. You should probably heal 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like...
Or you could go out with a bang.
I could go out with a bang.
If we take all 8 hearts, do we just die?
Yes.
Cool. If you can get to me, I can do some things about that.
Am I 2 or 3?
You're 2.
2?
From the beast? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. I will use it, so I guess it's a power to heal 1, or
No, I think it just each knight can choose a bonus for their next turn. Heal 1 plus 1 harm on next power plus 1 move.
So you have your full turn plus
you get
can
one of
heal
those for free.
Yes.
Yeah.
all right. I'm erasing 1 harm. Okay. If I throw in a diagonal, would I... If I throw, like, in this diagonal, would I still hit the beast without hitting Striga?
I'll allow it.
Okay. What about this? This kind of off this off angle, but it passes me through 3 spaces in the beast.
I will allow it.
Okay. 1, 2. All right, so because I have a power called Let Loose, the range is 2 to 4, so this covers 4 spaces, 3 of which the beast occupies. Deals 1 harm to anything in every space the spear travels through.
Oh,
So I'm
I see what
interpreting
you're
that
doing.
to mean that every square
I
deals
see.
1 harm, which means the beast deals. I deal 3 harm to the beast.
Yes. Yeah. I'll allow it.
Cool. So that's my one. That's one of my powers. For my next power, I will do Take Flight. In a burst of feathers, you rush into the canopy above. Remove yourself from the grid until the start of the next round.
And that's all of us go before then, right? Or
Yeah.
is it just...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a
When
round
you
is not a
return-
single exchange with the beast?
Yeah.
No, round is we're on round 2.
Okay. Awesome.
When you return, place yourself in any open space. So,
Sweet.
Great.
Dope.
If I can take the next
Well, the beast
turn, I would
goes.
like
Please.
to...
Well, the beast.
Oh,
beast
shoot.
now goes.
Yeah, sorry. Ugh, this is unforgiving.
1, 2, 3. I can hit everyone here once again. He will use his hail of armor. Once again, the armor's not really on him, so it'll be a hail of thorns. You see sort of the leaves and the thorns in and around the forest lift up into the air. They swirl around and they shoot out, hitting all knights within range. So it has a range of 3. I should be able to hit everyone here. That's 2 harm to all knights.
Ouch.
I just died.
Oh, dang.
I was at -6 and that did too, so I'm dead. Sorry, gang.
As you die,
Yep.
the scroll once again laughs in the back of your mind. To the beast itself? That's how you die? All the power I have. And you're just going to give it up. Going to die.
I'd prefer an alternative if you have any suggestions.
Let me loose.
Gladly.
Speak my name, let me loose. So, Lexia the Legion breaks out from the scroll, inhabits your body.
Yay.
And you can continue to fight. You regain all your harm.
Oh, that's nice.
And you are no longer Striga. Striga's gone.
Cool.
You are this demon, and you can continue to fight. Unless the beast takes you out.
Great.
If I could take the next turn, I got something specific I want to do.
Yes, please. I'm very reactionary. So now I will say, if the closer
Wait, was I
anyone...
too dead to have done a thing, or was that my whole turn coming back from
No,
being...
no, you can do your turn
All right,
if you would.
Cool.
Any chance?
can do the
that-
thing,
Yeah,
it's fine.
'cause if I don't do it now, I can't do it till the next round. I'm going to use my power Mimic to study the beast and fight fire with fire. I copy the effect of the most recent power used by the beast, which is its little armor shootout thing. And I think I'm far enough away from
That's
everyone else that it would only hit the beast.
Correct.
So however much
Yeah.
damage that
Smart.
thing does.
It does 2.
Great.
This time it doesn't have its armor anymore. It summoned knights. It used leaves and thorns. How would you like to produce this hail of thorns?
I mean, I'm covered in these little metal orbs. I think kind of seeing the motion and specifically how the beast's like armor and then later its thorns shift around at the openings that it creates. I try and, inspired by the sling, fling my bells with the accuracy that it did, more looking for those like holes in the armor, holes in the thorns, than this random spray.
Very nice. As you pepper this the beast with your bells, it turns to you and he says, "You fool. The hunt matters not. Slay the demon. Take this scroll as far from here as possible. As long as you leave the weapons. Please." And it turns once again.
I'm not done with my turn yet. Unless it's doing a different
Go
thing.
ahead, yeah.
Mira will consider its words.
The hunt's rules were very clear. I cannot leave unless you or I die.
Okay.
And I'll use my other power, fling, to let loose the sling, and it'll do 1 harm to the beast.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Good.
Was there anything you could do to get closer? The closer people get close to me, I can protect them. Oh God, I'm so slow.
Everyone is
beast-
so slow.
Moves up to Red.
Yeah.
And that's it's one move, and it's gonna maul.
right.
This time you feel ethereal
falling
light
from my trap
sort of
card.
pierces through the demon. It does 3 harm. And then it quickly pulls out before the corruption can start to spread on its body.
Cool. This is fine and normal. I would like to use... can I take this next
Yes.
turn?
Yeah, sure.
Then I would like to, for my first trick, use Writhing Unknown. Creature of the Veils attempts to bind the beast. Until the end of the round, anytime the beast would move, it takes 1 harm.
Yes.
Nice.
And... I can either deal 1 harm to the beast, or I can move away from the beast and just make it move and injure itself. Although it has range of attack, so anyway. I'll just do Veil Wave. Feels like a fun double whammy. Burst of power from beyond the veil pours forth from yada yada yada. 1 harm to the beast.
Okay.
I think Striga is much taller and shadowier than she was before.
Not Striga anymore.
Yeah.
Not Striga anymore. Still kind of looks like her.
Yeah, it inhabits her body. Okay, its turn. You didn't move?
I wanted to use 2 powers on it.
Okay. It will let
This
out...
might let it just kill me twice.
it can't... I think the beast can use the same power twice, actually.
If it can do 5 damage in 1 turn, I'm just about to die again. This is a very unforgiving boss fight.
Yeah, no,
Well,
this
it's
is
supposed to be
the
kind of
toughest
tragic.
one. Yes.
I said it's supposed to be kind of tragic.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. First hit, we're gonna do the maul, which will do 3 harm to a knight.
Yep, so now I'm down 6. It is 8, right? I didn't get that
Yes.
wrong and nerf myself. Okay, cool.
And then I just want to double check to make sure it can activate the same power more than once throughout a round.
Throughout a round. That's
Yeah,
not...
it's different than on a turn.
Yeah,
On a turn.
not on a turn. Okay, so yeah, no, you're good.
Okay.
It's going to let out a terrifying roar.
Okay.
Every knight cannot move during their next turn unless doing so through a power.
Okay. Which brings it to my turn.
Alrighty.
Yes.
I will move using a power. I will use charge. Stand
Yeah.
behind your wall of iron and go crashing forward. Now, the bad news is he's only 1 square away. So he's only going to take 1 damage when I ram him with the shield. But I will ram him. That's my first power as I charge forward. And then
Perfect.
I will deflect. I will take a defensive stance to deflect any oncoming attacks to all knights within range. Range is 0 or 1. So if you guys can get within range of me, I will until the start of my next turn. So if I go last in the turn order the whole next round, reduce each source of incoming harm by 1. So anytime if you're standing in my space or 1 space away from me, if you would take harm, you take that harm minus 1. That will be my second action, and I will end my turn.
Very cool.
I'll just ram it, and then immediately, like, Captain America behind the shield.
That is the last of all 4 of you, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes.
Cool. We'll make the beast will make 2 more. It kind of has. Actually, it does not have to move. Actually, no. I don't have a lot of options left. Shoot. He's just gonna have to move too.
And he will take 2 harm for it because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I used everything else. Okay. Sheesh. Yeah, he'll take 2.
Thank
Center
you,
himself
evil
once again.
spirits.
Thank you, evil spirits.
And he says, Knights, you don't understand what you've unleashed. Once again, a shift occurs. This time continues to unravel, rewind, and we find ourselves at the heart of the great tree. The knight stands in front of a meteorite, this fallen star, with this creature pouring over him. With this void creature pouring over what looks like a young version of the beast you are fighting right now. It sticks its hand into its heart, pulls it out, killing this young beast, and vanishes into the forest. The knight, distraught, says, I will hunt you down. My ancestors will hunt you down until we've stamped out the corruption from this forest so that our people and the spirits can once again live in harmony. We find ourselves within the hollow of the great tree, fighting the beast, fighting this creature of the void. Who's up first?
Can I?
Sure.
I think Noir returns to the battlefield at the start of the round, right?
Yes.
I
if
do.
you can get close to me, there's a thing I can do. Does that count as a turn, though?
So, like,
No,
I would
it's
be
not.
descending.
I think it just.
I
it
would be
says-
descending, but then you would be taking your turn.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome.
I do have it. If I go on the start of every turn, I can basically just live up in the air and do a power, which would basically make me immune to being attacked. I do also have an ability called Pierce Spirit. Attempt to sever the beast's connection to the forest. The beast cannot either move or take an action after your turn, your choice. So
Ooh, that's good.
it could be I could Pierce Spirit, fly up in the air, and then it's automatically and then after my turn, I'm going to choose it can't take an action, so it can only either move or just do nothing, and then it'll be someone else's turn.
Okay, do you
We
want
could
to
do that. Well, what were you going to suggest?
I can use a power that'll heal me 1 just as a treat, and then I can use a power, let me find it, called Phantasm. Transform you and any willing knights nearby into immaterial phantoms. You and any knight within range may become spirits. As a spirit, you cannot use any powers during your next turn, and you cannot be harmed. During your next turn, you may move 3 spaces and heal 1, after which you are no longer a spirit. So,
Yeah.
think
What's the range on that?
2. I can get both of you.
That's pretty
well,
good.
I think I'm.
Well, why don't if Noir does his thing, he can get out of dodge, and then it's your turn. You can do a thing, and then
You would only be
phases
getting.
both.
But
out.
then I would be only, well, Nor, would you be jumping out of the battlefield again?
Yeah, I would be.
So I wouldn't be getting both of you with Phantasm, and you wouldn't get the benefit of the heal.
That's true.
I wouldn't get the benefit of the heal, but also if we just commit to me going first at the start of every round, I won't be hit.
That's fair.
Sounds
if you want
good
to
to
deal
me.
the damage and stun him basically, and then I can just get me and the Oath of Stone Knight Bastion with the
Yeah.
Phantasm move.
Okay, so I think I will do that. So I land where I land. Actually, in fact, I'll land so that I'm more clearly adjacent. I will Pierce Spirit, and I will declare that the beast cannot take an action after my turn. That's one of my powers. And then for my second power, I will take flight again and remove myself from the battlefield.
Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Beep beep.
Sheesh. Okay, the beast can move, though. Oh,
Does
man.
it still take the harm?
No, that only lasts 1 round.
I see.
Okay.
But I could theoretically hit him with that and then phantasm us, so he can't move and we're ghosts.
The beast will move. How long does that last? Until.
It's just after my turn.
The piercing
Okay.
thing or the...
Okay, no. The piercing thing. Okay. He will move 2 betwixt the stone and our void demon. And that will be its turn.
Sweet. Then instead of healing myself, I will... Right.
I don't think you can get close enough to phase me out anymore, because he's in the way.
Are you not 2 away?
I'm 3 away. There's 2 spaces between us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Range
Well,
of
that's
0 is
unfortunate.
same space. Range of 1 is next to you. Range of 2 is 1 space in between, and then the next. So that's okay. I can.
Wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I
We
mean?
haven't gotten further apart from each other. The beast
Correct.
just moved
We are
away.
3 spaces apart. There's 2 spaces in between us.
Oh, I
So
remember
you
this
count. If you're
conversation.
counting over to
Sorry.
me, you go 1 space, 2 space. Me space is
Yeah.
3.
Ugh, okay. Well,
so-
fine. I will just do...
I'm still taking low damage. If you want, I can. If you let me go first, well, then you're gonna save yourself. I was gonna say, if you let me go first, I can rally you, so I can give you either +1 harm, +1 move, or heal 1, and then I can go back to my defensive stance and reduce the damage I take. I think it might still kill me, but such is the game. Or up to you or if you want to go first and phase yourself out, go for that.
I would like to double whammy. I'm gonna do Writhing Unknown, so the beast can't move without taking harm, and then I will phantasm myself. So, I'm a spirit for this round. I can't use any powers on my next turn, and I can't be harmed, but I can do my movement healing, and then I'm no longer a spirit. So, as of right now, I cannot be harmed, and the beast can't move without damage.
Okay. End of its turn. And if your turn, he's going to. Oh my God, you guys are not making this easy. Yeah,
I think he's only got
You
one
killed
more.
me in round 2!
I'm going to maul the Stone Knight.
How much damage does that deal?
3.
I reduce it to 2 and go to 8 damage, killing me.
No!
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Even with the -1, there's no way to keep it small enough.
And then he can't move. He will use the roar once again. Knights cannot move during the next turn unless doing so through a power. That's all
I have
he's
a really
got,
quick
man.
question. Rally says, inspiring knights and instilling dread in beasts. Range 1 through 3. Each knight can choose a bonus. Because it's range 1 through 3, I guess that means it wouldn't be targeting me.
No, it had to be,
okay.
I guess, 0.
Yeah, it had to be other guess. Okay, because I was like, oh, each knight, that is me, I'm a knight. But then I see range 1 through 3, so I guess range 0 through 3 would have meant me. Okay. Sad, otherwise I could have healed 1. Yeah, Stone Knight goes down.
Ah. Oh boy.
But at least I dealt 1 harm.
That inspired us along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that leaves just 1 person's turn left.
Correct.
Am I 4 or 5 away from
1, 2, 4.
4? Perfect. I'm gonna do an old fave. Start with rev up, build the momentum of my sling. Watch my new friend go down, and quietly, as she is wont to do, start to prepare for a larger hit. And then with my second power, I will use Fling to deal 1 base harm and add 2 from the rev up to do 3 points of harm to the beast.
Okay.
And I guess I will stay where I am, because there really seem to be there's no benefits or drawbacks to me moving.
How long does the movement thing last again, Red?
It lasts for the round. So if this is his last turn in the round, it still applies.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. And I can't damage you.
No, you can't. Not until my next turn. And even then, I get a chance to skedaddle.
Yeah, he can't move.
He's between a rock and a hard place.
He is 1, 2, 3, and oh my god.
That feels disrespectful of the dead.
1, 2, 3, 4. He can't afford to take that much.
So
That's
he's low.
You guys are almost there.
Oh, please.
He will take 1 harm and move down, and that will be all.
Okay.
Is that everyone? Once again, that's another round over.
Well,
Everyone has
Austin is
dwindled
dead.
this
I don't know
bitch.
how we're resolving that.
Yeah.
He's just dead.
I think he's dead, yeah.
I didn't have a thing for Stone Knight.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, we don't all get to come back on a Deus
Yeah.
Ex.
Joke's
Dang.
on you guys
Alright.
for not choosing the evil
I
scroll
still think
of doom.
we're gonna have to fight the evil scroll demon after we beat this beast's ass, but who knows?
I
That
mean,
doesn't sound realistic.
once again,
I deserve
time
it.
shifts.
Mostly holding
Except
things
we
up for other
return
people.
back to the present. Night becomes day, day becomes night, possibly fast, and we find ourselves under the sky to which we started. The beast now, its form revealed, that of a great boar. Quills revealing that of the forest, the map of the entirety of the forest. You can see the space with the tiny lumberyard. You can see the location of the flying lake. You can see villages dotted all over the forest. You can see various elder trees budding. As it turns, its eyes sullen and sad, says, "Thus is the hunt. Do what you will." Who is up first?
Does Noir
go
have to
first?
land? Yeah.
Yeah. Can I go first?
Yes.
Can I
Cheers.
land here? Land here. For my first power, I will let loose again. Deals 1 harm to everything in every space the spear travels through.
Ooh.
I believe this trajectory allows me to get 3 more spaces from the beast.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then for my next power, I'll take flight again.
Bye, buddy.
So 3 harm dealt to the beast.
Sheesh. Oh, you guys are not making this easy. Okay. This time, I might be able to do something. You're not intangible anymore, correct?
It lasts until my next turn.
What?
You cannot use any powers during your next turn, and you cannot be harmed. During your next turn, you may move 3 spaces and heal 1, after which you are no longer a spirit.
Okay.
Yeah!
Okay,
We only have
Sophia.
8 hit points!
Only one person to kill, buddy.
The game had to...
Nothing better
No,
for Austin
no.
than being the one person to get killed in the one shots.
Then the beast will crash through to the other side.
Hello.
And then move
Oh, that was
1
Danny. Oh, shit.
onto the Knight of Echoes. Says, "I have no choice. I'm sorry, young knight." Who's next?
I'd like. Oh, did it do something or did it just move?
It
used-
moved. It crashed through, which was its power. It moves in any direction in a straight line, and then it moved 1 towards you.
Cool.
I can make myself tangible
I
again.
have something I'd like to do if not.
Oh, please.
I'd like to mimic
Spare me.
the ability it just did to crash through to fling myself over to the other side.
Nice.
The folks at home must know the face the Wally just made. The double face palm.
It was a noble effort.
Whoosh! And
Discovering movement, very important in this combat system.
yes,
Yeah.
and then
Yeesh.
Earth Knight, not a lot of movement options.
for my second power, I will use Fling to deal 1 harm to the beast by... I imagine Mira almost like does the mimic, and as she's flying backwards, also revs up the sling and like just flings a flings a pebble back at him, like, one for distance.
Hell yeah.
And that's my turn. So he takes 1 harm.
Cool.
All right, I guess I'll... Oh, well, after the beast, of course.
After the beast.
Creatures first.
He will use 1 movement. Correct. Once again, whip up a hail of thorns, dealing 2 harm to all creatures in range. It has a range of 1 through 3. And that is all.
2 harm. Goodbye.
Does that hit you?
I think so, right? One plus.
Are you
am I
dead?
3?
Yeah.
I'm not dead. Thank you.
Good.
Oh, you're not dead? Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna rematerialize. Oh, sorry. I'm going to move 3 spaces, heal 1, and then rematerialize. So I'll just, 1, 2, 3. Not make things easy on him. I'll heal 1, and I am no longer a spirit. And I can't do anything else.
Okay.
It's another fuck you, I'm out of the fight maneuver, basically. Doesn't really let you do much.
You'll move 1 and 2. There is no shift this time around. He's low. He's low.
Oh.
Final round.
Oh, boy.
Guess what I'm gonna do?
Yeah!
Come on, Sky.
Finish him.
From above.
Please.
Yeah, I will aim in a trajectory that allows me to get 3 more squares as I let loose. And then I will fly and take to the air again. He was at 2?
He was at 2?
Hell yeah.
Dang.
Oh.
Noir, you just saved my ass.
The beast turns to you and he says, Knight, congratulations on the hunt. As Ygritte pierces through the beast, its head thuds onto the ground. The whole forest echoes, grows silent, grows dark. And combat ends.
Pyrrhic. So what happens to Striga now?
Oh, Striga's still dead, baby.
That ain't Striga.
As this demon inhabits your body, while Striga is indeed dead, it tends to keep the knowledge of the people it interacts with within the knowledge of the scroll. So, how many approaches do you have left?
I actually have a bunch. I have 3 Valor, 4 Haste, and 4 Guile left.
Sheesh.
I was really relying on the scroll.
If you'd like to return back, you'd have to use up how much health do you have left?
I have 3, because I just healed 1.
Oh, okay.
So I took 5 total. Well, I took like 16 total, but like...
I'd say you can use 2 approaches to knock yourself down to 0.
And then just be dead.
And take control of your body.
Oh.
You'd be unconscious, but it'd be up to...
Ooh, only mostly dead.
It'd be up to Rooker and Mira to decide what happens next. How this adventure ends.
Then yeah, I think...
Otherwise, they might be forced to take you out.
Well, I was...
She died bravely.
I was thinking about this, actually, because... obviously, the beast, the hunt, etc., etc. But as soon as it became clear, oh no, the beast really is the protector of the forest. Oh no, the beast is like the god of this place. Striga's an oath of wood. She studied the forest for, a decade and a half. She's found it beautiful and interesting, and she always wanted to know more about it, and she thought the scroll was how to know more about it. And then it turned out the scroll just wanted to kill how to know more about it. So... Striga's on the one hand, all my friends aren't dead, only one of them, which sucks. But on the other hand, no, I don't think I want to let this thing rampage if possible. So...
Or a complication.
More complicated than being possessed. And dead. Well, I haven't had any complications yet. But I have so many things to burn. I'll just burn a bunch of them.
You burn everything.
Yeah.
All of your approaches. You can replace the beast.
I was thinking about that.
And bind the scroll once again to the forest. It cannot leave. The scroll cannot leave. The other weapons can leave if you want to. But you will take the place of the guardian of the forest.
Honestly, dream come true. I would.
The other two knights watch as the creature inhabiting Striga's body stumble forward, ready to attack. And then it hits its knees, and then its hands hit the ground, and it struggles as the roots of the forest pull it into the center of the church. The central stone that used to house all four weapons once again reforms, the scroll at the center of it, and the ghost of Striga stands in the middle of the forest. Now you, as the beast, can permit the knights to leave.
Well hunted, my friends.
What does this mean for our order, and for any future hunts that may become from it?
Well, I suppose there's only one way I'll find that out. Perhaps if the scroll remains imprisoned, the hunts need not progress. Though I'm curious to learn.
Do we take the weapons?
I'll say, because the
content.
scroll still exists, it's still around, it will continue to corrupt spirits, and you will need knights to cull the spirits. That is done through the hunt.
But they don't need to kill me every time? That's nice.
Not particularly, no.
Okay, cool. So what, the beast was just very dramatic? It's fine. I'll figure it out. I have a lot of time to study this place now.
Mira will go into Bastion.
Yeah.
Very, solemnly grab the shield.
You're
As
taking
you
it.
do, you're confronted with a memory. One of... I forgot. Which memory did you give up again?
The person you loved.
Yes. One of Bastion in some sort of parallel dimension universe. Going home. Reunited. But not just the memory, but the love, the one he loved.
Bittersweet.
And I'll walk over to the brook with the shield and the sling.
I suppose the scroll stays, but the others return with us.
Yes. The scroll
Do you not
is
think
my
about what you...
responsibility.
Do you not think about what you had to give in order to wield a weapon such as this?
It's not so different from the things we give when we make our oaths. That is...
Is it?
Didn't you murder a bunch of people for yours?
I also gave up the love of which the love I've had that made me take up this oath in the first place.
Our journeys lead us in unknown directions at times.
I'm gonna take off my mask from my ghost. Because I had a helmet on the whole time. I don't know what my ghost looks like at this point. Do I still look even a little bit human under this sucker?
I imagine everything's reverted back. All of the sacrifices you've made up until this point have been relieved off of you. You are now a spirit of the forest.
Great. Then Striga looks like a human, maybe early 30s, very large mane of tangled black hair, like braids in it, and eyes the color of fallen leaves. They went yellow for like the first mutation, but they weren't always like that.
Were the antlers coming from the helmet or the head?
Oh, the antlers were fully mutation number 1. They used to be part of the mask, but they stopped being that. But she doesn't have them right now. Just a bunch of leaves in there. That's just kind of the nature of the beast, as it were.
I don't know that it's for us to decide whether others should be willing to make the same choices. But if this cycle is meant to continue,
Perhaps I will see you again.
I'm not content with that. I put the spear back in its place.
Oh.
I shall make the choice for my descendants. If they return here by some anomaly, either to confront, bargain, reason, or slay you, Striga, then the option may be theirs to take the spear up once more. But until then, my knights shall cull beasts with their own hand, their own guile, valor, and haste.
With that, we come to the end of the game of Hunt. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Rolling with Difficulty will be back for our regularly scheduled content later in the year, but this was fun.
Bastion gets to be a tree now, because we promised.
There we go.
Yeah. Bastion gets
A
to be
little
a tree.
epilogue,
With-
like the
yeah.
Nausicaa epilogue, where the gas mask has a little seedling growing up under it.
When they
Oh,
finally
yeah.
get home, I
Yeah.
think Mira would make a little pile of rocks and like put a bell in it and like try to arrange it in a little like
Oh.
shield shape on the front and be like, just for my buddy, for my friend.
Mira doesn't see, but the next time she passes by it, there's a feather joined amongst the
Oh,
pile.
oh,
Oath of Echoes nights kind of tend to not last very long before they sort of become one with the great Song of the Forest or whatever. So I imagine shortly after this, Mira kind of fucks off and is never seen again. So I think there's a very nice sentiment too. There's some sort of
Second
For as
ghost
high-
just pops up like, dude.
For as high as Sky Knights climb, it is their inevitable destiny to misstep one day, for another to take up the helm, for their plumage to be added upon the wall. One day, the Sky Knight will step where he shouldn't have. But until then, he'll keep doing what he's been doing.
I think he'll find the forest will catch him on the way down. He might not survive the experience, but like, you know,
Generous.
I'm not saying like everything's
Yeah.
gonna be good in the forest forever. It's just like gravity might kill you, but you'll be among friends.
Hell yeah.
hell yeah.
Sorry,
Good
Bastion.
shit. Thank you, Wally.
Yeah, no problem. This
Yeah,
was fun.
thanks, dude.
It's weird not
This was
rolling
awesome.
dice, but all in all, this was
We really were maneuvering with difficulty.
with difference. Cue title card.
Powering with
The
difficulty.
DM must die.
Thanks so much for listening.
Catch us
We'll be back with another one shot, and of course, stay tuned this summer for the beginning of campaign 2. So, hope
yeah.
this helps tide
I'm
you
gonna try to
over.
live through the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a way, but I can't promise you'll take it.
Time will tell. All right.
Oh,
Catch you
that
next time.
slapped.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Bye.